The playoffs continue. We are in the RavenCourt, best of 5. We currently are in the losers bracket. So we got the best of 5 now that we entered the bracket phase. Team Madara and Team BananaH, they already made it into, well, it's a little bit different. So Madara, obviously, with his team, they lost in the winner bracket semifinal and dropped down into the losers bracket. Team BananaH, because of their low seeding after the round robin, entered the bracket phase in the losers bracket. So that's why the two teams are now going up against each other in the lower bracket. Whoever loses the series is out. Kind of noteworthy also, if you're paying attention to the player names, is that on the red team side, Lopaka, I don't think is actually eligible to play for the team, but Maitrai is late, so I assume what they're doing here is something that we already saw on the previous day. They're going to draft with him and then either get a sub in or get Maitrai involved, because I don't think that the team around BananaH is actually allowed to use a player from a different team. So either way. But Shire is going to be our first map. This is the best of 5 series. As I already mentioned, we are now in the RavenCourt on the second play day, focusing on the losers bracket. And the rule in draft still pertains, so they adopted some of the rules from my Meta Madness tournament. There's no pre-bans, so it's not going to get full crazy, but a hero that is played in a series cannot be played again within the same series. So after the first match, or the first map, 10 heroes cannot be picked again, and so on and so forth. So you have to really be a little bit strategic about how you get your picks together and what you're trying to eliminate there too. Now, as we're heading into game number 1, the first thing that gets addressed is Maiev, and Rexxar, King of Dragon Shire, still gets banned. There's obviously multiple players on the side of Team BananaH that are very strong with him. And particularly Hazops has in the past also played a whole lot of Rexxar, but another hero that we have to point out in the context of Hazo is of course the Vikings, who he could play on certain maps too. Now, I don't necessarily expect them to pop out on Dragonshire, especially not since it's the first map, but I could see that later on Towers of Doom if it gets to that point, or a couple of other maps. But apparently they don't want to take any risks here. So even here on Dragonshire, they're just from the get-go saying, you know what, we're just gonna ban the Vikings out, we don't want to deal with this. Problem is then, of course, that heroes like Lucio are all of a sudden open and Vexu locks it in right away. But yeah, still very, very interesting here to see the Vikings banned already for Dragonshire. I'm honestly curious if they're gonna maintain that ban pattern throughout all of it, or if at some point they're deviating away, map dependent of course too. But yeah, it will be interesting. Madara is in a bit of a weird spot with his team, because he had a very good and strong round robin that kind of fell apart a little bit on the last playday of the round robin, so they lost some matches there, and all of a sudden they went from the number 1 position in the standings down to, I believe it was number 3. And now they find themselves also in the losers bracket after they lost their semifinal in the winner bracket. So they're a little bit on a losing streak right now, and they kind of have to really dig deep now. They were one of the big surprises, in my opinion, in the tournament just in general as a team, but now they are of course in danger of being eliminated from the tournament as the first team, so they really need to now go deep and make sure that they're taking BananaH and his boys out, or this is going to be the end of the road for them. Starting things off with Diablo and with Genji, whereas on the other side we get now Blaze and we have Sylvanas. Sylvanas obviously can send up pushes either around the Dragonite, or you can also go for a multi-pronged attack where you get the objective, you push on one side with the Dragonite, on the other with Sylvanas, disable a couple of structures and just go straight for it. So we'll see. But well, we already got a good old Jojo banned out with Diablo locked in for them. They're just trying to shut down some of the main tanks for the red team. Muradin is still around, would be a really good frontliner for them. If they want to go a bit more aggressive, they could also go into Nubarak, for example. That would work for them as well, with the Blaze follow-up on top of that. Either way, you're looking very likely at a CC chain that they're going to try and establish here. Whereas the blue team, of course, they need, first of all, their healer. Brightwing is already out, has been banned away. So Rhaegar would be a choice if you want to go down that path, just to name one. But we get Anduin, and that gives us a light bomb engage with Genji. So Anduin, Genji in the house. Together with that we get Leoric for the side lane. And now the big question, what are we getting as the final 2 picks for the red team? For BananaH and his boys. They still need a main tank. Again, Muradin and Ubarak, just two of the options that they have here. And we need also a little bit more oomph behind all of this. Muradin it is, Thrall together with him. And now the final pick for Team Madara. Madara himself, oftentimes playing a mage, so we might see that again. Could also go, or eventually I think we're going to see Chromie in the series for sure. But let's see what Madara is going to lock in here on Dragonshire as the final pick for game number 1 in this best of 5. And it is Chromie indeed. Off we go! Team Madara against BananaH. Here we are. We got on the left side in blue Madara on Chromie. Ixir is playing Anduin. We're currently looking at Sven on Leoric, Domi on Genji, and Play is rocking Diablo. Over on the right side of the map, BananaH in the red with his team playing Thrall, Hazu and Blaze, Vexu and Lucio, we got Uki and Muradin, and Lopaka is playing Sylvanas for the team. Alright, so apparently all good and Gucci to go. With us now looking at the level 1 talents, and in this case we're getting for Chromie a bit more vision with the Time Walker's Pursuit over here. So that's the first one. At the same time now, Orson's Renewal for Leoric as his standard talent on level 1, the Trolling Thunder for Thrall. And they're already going for that Sylvanas attack up at the top with a few of the heroes just protecting the flank, making sure that they're allowing Sylvanas plenty of time to just get back from this. Bit of damage at the tower as a result. And this is the standard attack that you are usually aiming for when you're playing with Sylvanas. You're trying to get a quick and cheeky attack going onto one of the towers. In an ideal world, you take the entire thing down, but what usually ends up happening is that a team takes 50% of the hit points off for free. Most of the time, when you stay longer, it just ends up with you losing one of your heroes, which of course is then totally not worth it. Over here, Muradin, initially in a bit of trouble, but still able to get out. Got a bit dicey for a second, but yeah, he's going to be fine. Went in on level 1 also into the 3rd wind, so he is definitely not going to have any problems here with sustain in the early stages. Up at the top, our 1 versus 1 is also established. Hazops, of course, is now benefiting from the initial pressure from Sylvanas and can take one of the towers down right away. And they're going to do the same thing also to the 2nd tower here. And down to the bottom of the map, Muradin being a little bit too cheeky, maybe went too deep here. Uki, his trade doesn't kick in and he's dead. That happens when you're getting too greedy. So yeah, he tried to nibble around the edges a little bit once that they went for their siege giants. And on the other hand, we're now having a couple of bruisers traveling through the top lane. So this is going to put more pressure onto Sven with Leoric, which is already pretty massive, honestly, because in this situation he is gonna get the shrine for now, but Hazu should now be able to push in. You can already see that they're sending Diablo up top because they're realizing that if Leo is going up against Blaze alone on the lane now with the camp, there's absolutely no way for them to hold this, and they would lose most likely not only the shrine but also a lot of the wall. So instead Hazu is now moving back. They announced this early, and you can see that he wasn't the only one that was traveling topside. So we had Genji also coming in doing the same thing, which of course then leaves at the bot lane a huge gap and a numbers advantage for Team BananaH that easily helps them to now come in and simply reclaim the shrine here and also take the siege giants out. So the teams will focus on the camps at this point. Madara can poke a little bit, but that's about it. Still very early in the game, and the 1 kill against Muradin when he went a bit too aggro was the only one that we've seen so far. Level 4 is slowly kicking in, so it's just some early game shenanigans where everybody is trying to get a small advantage and lead, with now the neutral bruiser camp also about to be attacked. Madara is very, very slowly double checking what's happening down here. Doesn't want to face check the bush. Good for him. We've seen too many candidates that had some problem with that. And now that the double control has been established for a second, we had Blaze up at the top immediately retaking the shrine and doing his thing there. Now Leo was able to defend, had some assistance there too, and down to the bottom there again trying to go for a bit of an attack, but now that Muradin is moving in, they don't want any of this. Then again, Genji joining the fight makes it a 4 versus 4 and puts immediately some extra pressure onto the squishies, particularly Sylvanas, who was already low. Okay, careful. Yeah, he's still very low, but had the cooldown ready and can easily jump out. So the typical ring around the rosy play that we're seeing here, Mirrodin is going into Reverberation on level 4, therefore we're going to see Bronzebeard Rage on level 13. And we got Thrall with some stacks. So Thrall is going to stack here, has 1 with his Frostwolf pack. So we're going to keep an eye on this and see if he can actually get the entire thing completed quickly. Top side, the entire wall has now been destroyed. There's at least a camp traveling in for the blue team, but up to this point, Hazu is winning the lane for them. Had some help initially, obviously, but rotations were executed by both of these teams. So now that all of this is playing out, we have at the bottom still some extra pressure. And that could actually get dangerous, because that's Siege Giants plus Sylvanas, so they will need some more heroes to assist down here. Or this could become very quickly a problem where they're going to lose a tower or two. So instead, we have now Diablo in, Vexu still flying at lockdown for a moment, but he still could keep them at bay. This is still some damage on the wall, so some free damage that you're getting with a pretty clean rotation here. Make another play for Sylvanas! And Chromie shows no mercy here. And absolutely panzer into the ground. Nicely done. Yeah, that was actually pretty sweet. Kind of like that. Good hit by him. And now they're going for Mirrodin too. Can they get the Dragonite? Nah, not quite. Already at the bot lane established with Vexu, another control point for the red team. So still not able to get the objective. Genji would have been interrupted very likely if he went for it straight away, but they thought they could maybe get that kill on Mirrodin. That didn't quite happen. So now we got 2 kills to 0 for Team Madara. And again, if you're just looking at the round robin phase of this tournament, then they are the clear favorites here. BananaH's team, despite all the star power that they have, did very poorly in the round robin, and therefore they entered the bracket phase in the losers bracket directly. So the 5th and 6th seed were put into the losers bracket directly, so it's a bit of a shortened bracket that we have here. And Madara's team did much better in the round robin. So they entered the bracket phase in the winner bracket, lost their first match there. So they are technically the favorite for this series. But of course, once that you enter the bracket phase of a tournament, anything can really happen here. Sven, talking about anything can happen, is in trouble, but was able to lock in the drain. So good for him. But this is still a bit dangerous, and he should really get out of there. I have no idea why he was sticking so long around the fort, unless he's totally willing to die. Maybe they bought a bit of time, but this top fort is now going to fall. And there's some extra aggression at the bottom of the map from Team Madara. They went through the wall here, but structurally this gives the red team a massive lead. It's now a level 10 ability for both teams, and there's a light bomb into the apocalypse. Nice. Pretty neat play. They nearly get that 4-2, but that fight is not over yet. So it's a 4 versus 3 for now. The problem is that Anduin is at the complete wrong side of this battle, as usual, and dies right away. So the Crybaby is down, and we have also the fort destroyed, so at least structurally they're now dead even. And here comes another big hit. Yeah, choke point controlled by Chromie quite nicely. Job well done here. Could also at the top, yeah, Leo, he has taken control of that shrine again, and Sven is going for the experience here. When it comes to hero damage, we're looking at roughly 10,000 for Sylvanas, 15,000 for Chromie, so definitely doing a bit better on that account. In the middle, also still a bit of poke, and the Bermuda Triangle that just swallows up every hero that enters it. It's still quite active, so they're going to see if they can get somebody else to face check a bush or two. But there's a nice connect with the wolves. Good job by Thrall. He's completed his quest earlier already. But yep, getting some nice hits in here. BananaH with his little snowflake that he's currently riding is getting some value. Down to the bottom of the map, talking about value, they take the wall out now. So when it comes to structural damage, Team BananaH is definitely doing a little bit better. Or at least they're leading the charge. They're the ones to call the shots here and to initiate most of these things. They have, of course, a rotational advantage thanks to Lucio in particular, and they're trying to use it as best as they can. But now it's going to be a double control for the blue team, at least for a few seconds, on those shrines. But Blaze is already on his way to the top, so there's pretty much no way to get an easy hit in over here. Blaze is taking over, so they're not even trying. Just poking against BananaH a bit, but he's already making his way back out. Chromie down at the bottom of the map has now already started the next camp. So they are very eager to get as many of these neutral camps as they possibly can at this point and just take them away. Maybe also create another pressure point on the bot lane against the opponent's keep, which so far is of course not threatened in any way, shape or form, but traditionally on this map you want to focus on the bot lane. The rule of thumb is always you focus on the lane that has the most mercenary camps, and there's 2 siege giants and 1 bruiser camp there. Leo going down at the top, not really going to be a problem for him. Obviously always annoying when you lose a hero, but at least he's going to respawn on lane very quickly, and there's no structures that they can pressure. Talking about structure pressuring, Genji is making some nice moves here at the side. Has to be careful that he doesn't get hit by the CC chain, but yeah, is able to at least get out. Every hit point matters, right? If you can get that fort a bit lower, why not? If you can do it for free, you should always do that. But they also have to protect the shrine down here, because this is looking more and more like the first objective taken. That was a nice attempt to try and get it, but the Apocalypse now had to be used. Chromie is down at the bottom of the map, and guess what? Anduin is also down, so this is all of a sudden lead in kills for Team BananaH, and they are looking better and better by the minute. Now they use the opportunity to pressure the fort immediately. Have also a chance to maybe even go for another kill here, because Diablo is also totally lost. He's basically auditioning. He's trying to join the Lost Vikings, and he's just like, look, I'm also totally lost. I don't know where to go. So yeah, soon they're going to be 4. Can you imagine Mini Diablo being part of the Vikings? It's not a boy band, dude. You can't just simply join them like that. Then again, Thrall gets murdered by Genji. Nice. Yeah, good old Thrall totally destroyed here. No chance for him. Now we have 15 to 15. But you were so close. You were so close to interrupt the Dragon Knight channel, but this is the first objective, and it's in the hands of Team BananaH. Nice. So we have them with a bit of an advantage. Then again, to be fair, they have also destroyed a second fort, of course. They're structurally ahead. They have an objective. The one thing they don't have is an experience lead, which is honestly impressive from Team Madara. They got the early level 16, so Anduin transforms himself into his next form. He is the pullout king now, with a double glyph of faith, leap of faith here, that he can utilize. But the red team is catching up on it, and here comes the synergy with the level 4 talent of Thralls, and now he goes into the Alpha Wolf, plays that one out. We got the Juggernaut plating, and also the Will of Forsaken, which is quite important for Sylvanas at this point against all the CC and stuns that we have. Nice Entomb. I don't think that he can do anything with it. If anything, he has to go out of this quickly, and Sven, yeah, gets away. Or does he? Yeah, I guess he does. Nice poke from Chromie. The problem is, they are getting played to the wall a little bit here. Light bomb engage. Okay, gets a double stun out. Was a bit hesitant here at first. Here comes the Earthquake from Thrall as they're trying to turn it. And a lot of cooldowns being used here, with Anduin also moving in for some quick trades and getting them removed. Leo, he already realized that he would die again, so he just moved back in to get some Royal Focus and Ominous Wraith value, and kind of did that. But Madara's team is now struggling. They started off well in the early game, but now there's no denying that it is the red team that is making the big plays. They've already destroyed 2 of the forts. They got the first Dragon Knight. Mid value, honestly, didn't get too much, but still. Now we got 28,000 damage for Sylvanas. She's pretty much tied with Chromie at this point in time. Blaze also with some decent numbers here, sitting on 23. Thrall chipping in a little bit, even Murden at 18,000. So they're doing their best to control the flow of the game, and now BananaH's team is also slowly taking over the experience lead. Not something too nasty, so they're not really taking an entire level here, but this is going to add up since the passive experience is also in their favor. So that's another one. We have down at the bottom of the map now another attempt to take the Bruiser camp. In the middle, they're making the traditional play for Leo, who is he's just ghosting around the map. But it's these rotations, the one that we're seeing right here, that are a big part of the problem. These continuous moves towards lanes to take some structures out, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. Ooh, for a second I thought Leo might be able to get the Entomb here. And I think he thought it as well. So he was not able to close the gap 100%. or that would have been an easy entomb after the cooldown on Sylvanas was already used, so there was definitely a chance to get some damage in. But she was a bit too fast, just barely off. But they need to get some kills. Lopaka's realizing that he's in a completely wrong spot and is immediately trying to half out. He's like, yeah. Didn't really want that, so they never knew. But Sylvanas is able to escape, so yeah, that could have been a kill. That would have been a kill, 100%, if they had any idea that she's hiding at the other part of the map, which they of course didn't. But that would have been funny. So yeah, he's just sitting in the bush, and all of a sudden everybody's coming in from the bottom of the map, and he's just like, okay, I think I'm out of here, boys. Laters! So, level 20 is what's on each team's mind now. There's the Entomb, Apocalypse. Oh, very little came together here. Those combos did not work, and then Anduin dies, killed by Sylvanas. Very, very fitting, of course. And that is that. So, yeah, seems like Leo goes down too. I actually heard that on the World of Warcraft lore, Anduin has a bit of an identity crisis these days and has finally realized that the Horde is the way to go, so he abandoned the Alliance, which I can absolutely understand. I mean, again, Anduin was always a little bit of a crybaby in the first place, but maybe he's finally seeing the light here and is joining the right side, so you never know. But apparently there's something going on. And there's also something going on over here, and namely a second Dragonite and a level 20 talent. So it is getting difficult. Pretty difficult here. 8 kills, 2-4 now, and 1 level lead. Level 20 in their hands. They got Storm Talons and they focus on the bot lane immediately. The forts are all gone. It's time for keeps to get crushed. So, we'll see what they can do with that. Anduin at this point, again, he doesn't really know what to do. Am I for the Alliance? Am I against it? Do I support Sylvanas? Do I not? Do I sabotage my own team a little bit and backstab them? Honestly, I could totally see it. Anduin is one of these guys, you know, when you look at his face, that baby face that he's always sporting there, you would not think any of it. You know, you look at him and he's like, yeah, he's a total innocent guy. He's totally useless in a fight, can't hold a sword the right way. So definitely not somebody that you want to cover your back. But he could be a perfect backstabber because you would never see it coming. Nobody will suspect him. So as a bit of an undercover agent that just comes in and puts the knife into your back, I could totally see it. So yeah, Anduin the Spy, I would dig that a lot more. So Genji gone, and it is just continuing the entire momentum swing here in favor of Team BananaH. They've already taken the bottom keep out. They got everything here, 4 kills to 9, and it is not looking good at all for Team Madara. That losing streak that they've been suffering is apparently going to continue unless they are able to turn this around somehow. But it's going to be super, super difficult because essentially they have to win a big team fight, absolutely murder it. And I currently just don't see it. It's been a while since they got a kill. Things are just not coming together for them. They've been looking for some combos and nothing has honestly flowed the way that it's supposed to. So, yeah. But alright, we are at 48,000 for Sylvanas now on the damage numbers. Chromie sitting at 45. So has lost her top spot a while ago. Went on level 20 into the Piercing Sands, and we got Sensor as well. Okay, oh, Diablo eating all the CC. They're trying to turn it though. Chromie immediately with the Slowing Sands, trying to control the space a little bit. The problem is that Sven is now being hit, using the Royal Focus again, but nobody else is coming in here to try and capitalize on it. So, yeah, not happening either. Another quick hit, and they're already down at the bottom of the map, trying to defend against those Siege Giants as the red team is looking at the Bridge of Death. That's an interesting one to push. Bridge of Death is aptly named for a reason. Normally when you're trying to push through that, those choke points get pretty dangerous very, very quickly. So yeah, you gotta be very careful there. But they are playing this slow, cool, calm, and collected, as you can see. They're not pushing for the core too early. They're still trying to play this around mercenary camps. They're waiting for another objective. They know there's a lot of pressure. But all of a sudden, BananaH gets called and Thrall dies. So, hashtag not my war chief. So now, we have a chance maybe for them to get an objective. They got to do something. I mean, first of all, they have to protect the middle, but they also have to make sure that they have maybe a shot at getting an objective themselves. Yeah, Genji dodges this a little bit. Muradin already using his rewind. So they only take control of one. Actually, they have both. They didn't take this. Team. And they're like, oops. That forces Muradin into the middle, and now he's dead. Stagger death on Muradin. So that got awkward quickly. They forgot to channel that. Everybody was pretty much looking at someone else, saying like, you got this, right? And nobody did. So then Muradin had to go into the middle to interrupt while they were taking control. And now Muradin is gone. Now Sylvanas is gone. And yeah, they kind of threw away the momentum that they had. All that map control that existed a second ago for Team BananaH is all of a sudden down the drain. So that's rather unfortunate here. And this is going to be a Dragonite for sure. So apparently they want Genji to have it. They had even time to swap it over. And yeah, that was a little bit... that was a bit weird. A bit uncomfortable. So they're going to get some structures. The question is simply, is this going to be enough to bring it back? They're obviously not going to win the game here, but if they can, for example, take the keep... Can they take it out? Even 50% would be nice. Just do some kind of damage. And there is, of course, another chance if they get another staggered kill. Whew. They got 10 more seconds, but the red team is totally willing to sacrifice at least the wall here. So now the Dragonite can still try and murder this a little bit. Leo is already coming in. Any attack that you can set up right now and maybe get a kill would be fantastic, but even just dropping that keep low would already be big. If they can destroy it, even better. And they're still trying to. So they're still poking from a distance as much as they can, and yes, they got the keep. So they caught more or less up with the opponent's team. Leo gets out. Muradin, on the other hand, gets another Stormbolt connected. There's the APOC. They baited them in a little bit, but it seems like they are going to lose. No, they're not losing anybody just yet. They had another Hellgate play right there. Now Leoric is in trouble, and he dies. But as long as they don't lose anybody else on the way back, they're going to be fine. Sven is already draining Thrall, so he's going to get... Ooh, Genji! Oh, and in with a save. But yeah, so Leo's still draining. No chance that the red team is going to get another kill here or go for the core. So essentially, we're now on the bot lane at least fully neutralized. Each team has lost the keep. And that brought Team Madara back. So it was this not capping the shrine, then forcing Muradin into the middle to try and interrupt. Him dying, Sylvanas dying shortly after, Thrall was caught even before all of that happened. So all of these staggered deaths, a huge problem. And that's what led to Team BananaH losing their advantage. Now, they haven't lost the game yet, and this all started with one hero getting caught solo. So as long as that doesn't happen and they can control these 5 versus 5 fights, it's a very different story. But at least it gave the blue team a fighting chance here. So we'll see what they can do with that. Already in the top, we have another quick attack going on. Yeah, trying to make a quick move for this and take this all down. There's no Dragonite up just yet. Play has to be a bit careful with Diablo. As long as Anduin is not close enough to pull him out, he should be very cautious here. Ults are up for literally everyone. And they're all looking to get a kill somewhere. All just setting up small little traps, whereas the BananaH's team is going for some additional camps on the map. They even have another one popping up, so as they take the Siege Giants, their Bruiser camp comes up too. So there's another one that they can take. But everybody is playing this incredibly slow now, because nobody wants to be too aggressive and wants to make a major mistake here and randomly lose a hero. So Play trying to set up a mini trap here. So his team is likely going to push a bit far. Nah, okay, they're not trying to set up too much. The shrines are up again, which means that each team has currently won. Bot lane, 7 seconds on the Bruiser camps. They're going to take this one quickly. They still have to be careful with the top lane because this keep is fully exposed. And we have now a Bruiser camp traveling through the top side. And Catapult should spawn there too. Didn't go at the bottom of the map for the Bruiser camp. Instead, we have the fight happening over here. Diablo attacked quickly. A lot of ults still being held back. Yeah, forcing the bunker from Blaze, and Hazu, nicely timed by him, had to sacrifice his ult, and oh my god, Diablo with a big engage here. Hazu is able to get out, but Thrall might not be so lucky. He survives and they kill Leo. Holy shit. Chromie also about to die, but damn son. both Blaze and Thrall surviving there was actually huge. Thrall in particular, his trade kicking in, him getting some heals. This could have been a massive moment for Team Madara, but instead it's now Sylvanas that falls. So they get their kill, but it's a bit delayed. Obviously Genji getting some cooldown reduction here too, thanks to his 20. Diablo low, and he falls. But he had his soul stack, so he is back. And as long as they... Yeah, they can't save that keep, can they? They're trying to take the catapult down first, which was definitely the right move, but there was just too much pressure on it, so it falls. 8 kills to 14. Genji kept them alive by taking down Sylvanas, or they would have lost a lot more here. But now the Dragonite has been claimed, was active the entire time, and there's the chance now to end the game for Team BananaH. It took a long time to really do a thing here, but yeah, this is now going to be real tricky. Can they get the kill? I don't really think so. If they can get a quick kill here and they got the light bomb, they're going straight in for Blaze again. Bunker is up, so they're wasting a lot of time, but I'm not quite sure if it's going to be enough. Sylvanas isn't here yet, but she will join the fight in another, I want to say 10 seconds. 10, 15. So they're forced back. Damn! They can't end the game here. Alright. That was pretty impressive. That Dragonite is not going to finish the game. We're already 24, 25 minutes into map number 1, and they are not able to end it. This first game is pretty spicy. This is really starting to set the pace for the series, isn't it? Whoever loses here is going to have... whoever wins here is going to have a bit of a morale boost. Leo activated his trade 6 times. Efficient trade used right there. Whereas Blaze and Lucio have not died yet. The problem is that there's only one keep standing. So a single keep, and once that's gone, you have catapult pressure to deal with on every lane. So it's already difficult as is. Diablo is at 56 soul stacks, so he's trying to build it back up, but it's obviously going to take him some more time to get to a fully stacked baseline that he can get here. But the Dragonite is now gone, so they got their kills. Question is, do they force a fight now? I mean, at some point they really have to flip the switch, right? So they have to make a play. Question is just which situation are they going to choose for exactly that? I mean, at this point, there's just some of the siege giants that they're claiming here, trying to go for some of the camps. It's a trap! And Sven walks right into it. Goodbye, Leoric. Yeah, death number 7. Once again, ready with the drain, and they are pushing for the middle now. Now Leo is going to need another 40-50 seconds and he's going to be back to business. This is still a long time, even for Leo. Now he's obviously decreasing a little bit and also slowing them down and granting vision. So if you lose anyone, then losing Leo is definitely the most advantageous. But yeah, bit troublesome regardless. Particularly with this keep now being attacked. But Leo is about to be back and they got the Entomb, they got the Buried Alive. So let's see what they can do here. Diablo attacks, misses the stun. Avatar is already out. Okay, where's the Entomb when you need it? Light Bomb saves Diablo for another second, but... oh, the Hellgate is able to get away. And the Buried Alive missed everything. Sven not able to hit the target here. They all dodged, and now the keep in the middle is also going to fall. They have to fight. With all the keeps lost, there's only one way. They gotta come in, they gotta take down the entire team, or at least get multiple kills so they can build up momentum. It's the only chance. Random Apocalypse? Not sure what that was supposed to do, if they really tried to just zone them away a little bit, but either way, it didn't give them a lot of value. So now Ixia is low and is able to get out. Genji, cooldown reduction is definitely in play for him, so he gets good value, but it's just not enough to net them a kill. Instead, they're losing Leoric again. He's going for the double digits today, and they are pinned down in their base around the core. Desperately looking for kills here as best they can. Genji in trouble, might be able to X-Strike out, yes, and dies. X-Strikes, dies, and this should be the end. At this point, they're down to only 3 defenders. The entire team is pushing in, and that's going to be a 1-0 lead for Team BananaH. So, yes, there we go. Coming in, we got 8 kills to 17, and it is lights out for Team Madara on Shire. The lead for Team BananaH as they claim the first victory in this best of 5 series in the losers bracket of the RavenCourt.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen is the second map, and let's see what we're gonna get here. We have already a 1-0 lead for BananaH and his team. It was a very interesting map, and Sven was pretty pissed at his own performance. In the lobby of the second game here, was talking, imagine playing Leoric and not hitting a single Entomb in 29 minutes. So yeah, he was pretty mad at himself. Haas was talking about how at least he was able to hit one good one, but obviously with Bunker on the other side, there's always a very nice counter that he can immediately use against it, so that negated the one that he hit. But yeah, Sven wasn't really too happy here. And I can understand him, especially after hitting level 20, if you hit a very good Buried Alive and hit the right targets, you have of course a massive impact on team fights, and Sven had a rough showing there. Now, game number 2, clean slate, let's just go in and I guess make sure that they just caffeinate it in between. Get some caffeine in, get some coffee, and off we go. So we got Hogger Band, they still keep banning Maiev, and also Rexa is still on the ban pattern here for them. Okay. So let's see what we're gonna get as our first pick. Now obviously Madara's team, they went for first pick after they just lost. And really, they gotta bring it back now a bit, because things are not going too well for them. I mentioned how in the round robin, also towards the end on the final playday, they struggled. So since then, they're on a losing streak that they have to break if they want to have a chance to bring it back. And they start Tomb of the Spider Queen with Madara locking in Junkrat immediately. So already interrupts against any kind of channel that he can go for that they have here. So yeah, we'll see if he can get some extra value with that. Madara, of course, also playing cross-server, so a bit of a ping delay for him. Whereas on the red team's side, what's it gonna be? What are we getting here? A Nuburak and Hanzo. Okay, so Hanzo's in the house. We get a Nuburak together with him. Cocoon, therefore, already part of the mix. And here comes again Garrosh and Zarya. Okay, so the comp that we have seen in the winner bracket already, and very powerful obviously, so can they pull it off, yes or no? Back then Rutsu was the one that played Zarya, but obviously the idea behind all this is still the same, and XR has shown quite a lot of Zarya games there as well, so we'll see how they're shifting maybe some of the roles around on their own end, or if they do that at all, or swap heroes later. But the end of the day, you are working for very, very strong foreman right now, and are trying to set that up so that you can just like bully your opponent, particularly when you have an objective pushing. So once that you have your web weavers, if you have a really sustainable, strong core of your composition, you can get so much more value out of it. Stukov gets eliminated. Heroes obviously that were played in the first map cannot be played again. So now we have Deathwing also taken out. But I want to see what they're comboing off with the Nuburak here. If you go more for that Eastern style that we've seen in the days of HGC, then Urel would be a good choice. And could be chosen together with him. Wave clear is something that you gotta consider as well though, so you have to be a bit careful around how you draft this now. But they go for Urel, okay, and we get Ana. So Ana is in. And with that, we also have still 2 picks missing there. And let's see what it's gonna be here. We got the final 2 picks. We need a healer and we need more damage. One of the 2. So, particularly what is Sven gonna play now? All right, damage. They go for the Haka. They got a side laner right now. They got Kane. Yeah, Junkrat is going to be the only one together with Zarya that gets the damage out. Fair enough. So you don't want to have Zarya on the side lane. That would have been a little bit awkward. They could have gone maybe for like a hybrid, but yeah, that's about it. And our final pick is BananaH. So I would still assume that we're going to get a couple of swaps on those sides with Ana in. Potential pick for Banana, but he's been playing most DPS for the team anyway, so it's a lost opportunity. Instead, we're getting Jaina, the recipient, for the Nano Boost. So guys, game number 2. We're heading into Tomb of Spider Queen. BananaH's team is in the lead against Team Madara. Let's see who claims victory on the second map. Team Madara has to step it up a bit with the captain playing Junkrat, Ixia on Zarya, Dobby on Deckard. We got Play on Garrosh and Sven on Banana. Sven on Dehaka. It's a little bit weird for me to not see Banana on Ana because Banana's Ana is pretty bananas, but you can't always have Banana on Ana because in this case Vexu is playing Ana and Banana's playing Hanzo, but it is what it is. So Uki is playing Anuburak, we got Lopaka on Jaina and Hazorps to round it out on Urel. Alright, so side lane has already been set up here. We got a grenade build for Ana going into contact healing here on level 1. Of course, with the combo of Zarya and Garrosh, it's going to be the speed barrier on level 4 for Zarya to just speed up good old Garrosh and let him run into the opponent's team. Particularly, Ana is going to have to be a bit careful around this, and the same is also true for Jaina. So those are two of the heroes that have to be very careful whenever Garrosh makes an approach. I guess the same is also true to an extent for Uki, who had right away a bit of trouble here. That's a very nicely executed combo from the blue team that unfortunately for them is not gonna get them a kill or net them anything. We get the maximum charge on level 1 for Zarya. At the bottom of the map now, Dehaka against against Urel, against the Space Goat. So yeah, there we go. Urel is always kind of funny. Urel is actually kind of nice. So yeah, going full ham here. And well, at this point, top side still Jaina doing her thing. The rotation so far is actually looking pretty decent for both the teams. Gems are being collected. They're also making moves for their own bruiser camps. Nobody has tried to go for the Siege Giants yet, which is of course as a neutral camp the one thing early game where you can claim a bit of an advantage for yourself. But definitely a bit of a slower pace into this. Now Sven, with how mad or annoyed he was with his own performance there with Leo, at least when it came to the Entombs, he of course can now make up for that with a Dehaka play and try to get some decent licks in to maybe facilitate a few kill opportunities for the team. But with that already, having another little play being made there. Ooh, careful. There's the flip and Banana gets attacked. And yeah, still just a little bit of early game shenanigans going on between the teams here. Nothing too insane. But of course, you now have the push with Zarya. That's the one big advantage of running that combo too, that you have with Zarya. A lot more sustain than you would normally have here. And that helps you to get some extra damage in. You also got the speed barrier now in, so that helps Garrosh immediately, as they're able to get some nice damage out. So, there we go. Uki gets out, and off we go. Yeah, well, this is still a little bit calmed down. One thing that I actually want to highlight, I got a couple of notifications and stuff about like a Korean series that is apparently quite popular these days, and people are talking about a second season. I guess Jaina also gets a second season in 15 seconds, but that was definitely first blood there. So Team Madara opening up the second game with a kill. But yeah, so there's apparently a series that emulates the... some of you might remember Heroes. Heroes was an amazing series a couple of years ago. It was absolutely awesome and it had so much potential, but then the writer's strike happened. And back then, writers had actually a little bit of talent and were just not continuously pushing out total garbage. So unfortunately, that resulted in the finale of the show being pretty garbage, pretty meh. And the second season was just an utter disaster, so they totally ruined the entire show. It was really horrific. I actually think that the writers that wrote the second season then got full-time jobs at Disney and all of these companies, because the quality that we're getting today with all of those series is pretty much the exact same. Long story short, Heroes was awesome, had a very cool concept, ruined the finale, and the second season was an absolute disaster. But there is now a show, a Korean show, that's called Movin'. And that one is pretty alright. It pretty much emulates the same concept, so just started it and it's kind of interesting. I hope that they are going to be able to see it through and have some pretty cool storylines there. It's maybe also a little bit more K-drama involved there as well, as you would see in an American production, but I have high hopes. I was very disappointed back then when Heroes went down the drain and then got eventually cancelled. It got so bad, honestly, that at some point we were just praying for it to be cancelled. Just like, make it stop, make it end. The show suffered enough. But yeah, Season 1 gave me so much hope back then, and then it was all taken away from me. Just Hollywood things. Alright, anyways, so in the game here itself, again, it's turning number 1, so not really all that much has happened. We saw Jaina die. Everybody is looking for some easy kills, and look at that! That was a nice one, and oh, they got so close. Jaina escapes, and they greeted for the kill so heavily that they lost Garrosh. But look at Sven! The man can't hit a tomb for shit today, but those drags are on point. The man can do things with his tongue. Just ask his girlfriend. It's insane. I mean, absolutely on point here. He hit the target and that allowed them to get a quick kill on Hanzo. So, yeah. Well done. Redeeming himself already. I told you he had a coffee or two between games. I mean, 100%. That man is a coffee fiend. He gobbles down coffee as quickly as Smexy is gobbling monsters. Actually, I don't know that, but yeah. Yeah, but Smexy was actually drinking monsters like water. Kind of insane. So yeah, either way, with that we now have 2 kills to 1, but it is the red team that gets the first turn in, so red web weavers are going to be descending first in game number 2, and maybe a chance for Team BananaH to get a couple of kills, and who knows, take down a hero or 2, maybe deny a few gems. Zarya has 15, so if you can get a kill on her, it would be the dream. But yeah, off we go. Let's see who hits it first. Garrosh is already waiting in the wings here. Bot lane, normal defense being set up there. They're just rotating a bit, trying to see if they can get another kill. Particularly Jaina is always a juicy target over here, which so far hasn't really happened. Yeah, nice zoning also, of course, from Deckard Cain, the old man, gonna tell stories again until everybody's ears bleed. Deckard, what did they do with you? Ever since you're gone, Diablo just went to shit. Didn't I say the other day that Diablo now has less viewers than Heroes of the Storm? That is impressive for a game that had such a big release and was so heavily anticipated. Yeah, Hanzo, they anticipated his moves too. He nearly got saved there, honestly. But they still get the kill. So Hanzo is dead again. The man with the hipster beard is being dropped once again. Every time I talk about Hanzo, I know I've said this in the past, but every single time I just look at this portrait, I can visualize him ordering a Starbucks coffee. He's the one guy that goes to Starbucks, orders a coffee, and then has like all of these special requirements. Just 1 shot of this, 2 shots of these, a little bit more creamy, and then like steam it at the right temperature, put some foam in, and then I also want to have like a little bit of a waffle on top. Some shit like that. That's Hanzo for you. Have you guys seen some of these Twitter, TikTok, whatever thingies that are circulating all the time of people and their weird orders that they're getting at Starbucks? I mean, some people just are so weird. Just order a cafe latte or whatever. Like, I don't really care. Get a cappuccino. But for the love of God, can you stop with those chef creations where you think, I'm so special, I need a special drink? That's Hanzo. Look at his portrait and tell me I'm wrong. So yes, he deserves to die. And he died twice. So now they're going to try and go for number 3. They have a camp, they got the web weaver, so they set this push up absolutely nicely. And they're going now straight for it. So a quick pull for the keep in for the fort in the middle. Dehaka is already going for the one at the top, and Lopaka is all of a sudden finding himself in a very awkward spot. He's like, help, team! And yeah, there's nobody here. Sorry, honey, but you're dead. Riptide to the face, not taking any risks here. Oh, but the water elemental takes Junkrat down. That's kind of unlucky. Madara there gets killed, so yeah. That's a bit unfortunate. Now they got the kill, they got 2 forts. When it comes to a first objective, this is about as good as it gets. So nicely done by them. And it gets reflected in the lead in experience that they currently have here. So we now have 4-2. And that is nearly a level 13 talent that they have right now. So let's see what's it gonna be. Are we gonna get another turn in for the red team? Can they interrupt this? Hazu is of course trying to turn in. Hoppity hop, look at that. The goat jumped and then got flipped a second later. Here comes the taunt. They're trying to go for Nubarak. That's 15 gems. Oh, the arrow to safeguard the gems. The old man with the sleeper. And off we go. The kills are there. The gems get recovered. At least a few of them. And now Hazu is very interested in moving to turn in because he has 33 and you want to make sure that he still has to carry that for a while. It's a lot of responsibility. I actually don't even know what gems weigh. Wouldn't it be funny if gems would actually weigh a certain amount and then when you carry, like, I don't know, 50, you're getting slowed down? That would be kind of funny. That would be a cool mechanic. I mean, that would be something that I would really like to see in action for a little bit. Let's do the same on Blackheart's Bay. You carry 100 doubloons, you should be a little bit slower. You're pretty much just a treasure goblin at that point. So now they have another turn in. Blue team made it happen. They got those kills, they got the lead, they have the fort at the bot lane that they're now gonna get. And the question is simply, can they get one of these keeps? So, yeah. There's a chance, there's an opportunity right now. We have them pushing through the middle, through the bottom. There's also at the top a bit of an attack that they have slowly set up here. Harzop still holding all of these gems. Just imagine Urel dying. That's a ticket back for Team BananaH. But currently it is Team Madara that is running the show. They are making all the big decisions here. So, yeah. We have the quest completed for Jaina. Good for her. So a little bit more survivability thanks to the ice thingy. Ice block. There we go. I was thinking bone prison, ice prison, block. Yeah, ice block. Okay, arrow is out. They got Kane with one move after another here. He has a lot of CC and zone control that he's now bringing in. Oh, but Junkrat gets trashed. Junkrat is down, so he's gone, but they get the kill on Urel, and now they just have to make sure they don't get those gems. And yeah, they are actually able to do it. Holy hell. What was that? 40 gems that they just destroyed? That is pretty nasty. That's pretty crazy. 40 gems lost, and they are also losing so many hit points at the bottom keep that they have to send pretty much everybody in here to stop the onslaught, and that allows the blue team to move to the top and start to take the boss. Particularly with Zarya having her ult back in only 10 seconds, they will get this 100%. Red team isn't really contesting it anyways, so it doesn't matter too much. But yeah, this is of course a big problem that they got to deal with now. So here we are. Urel is also back, and they're going for at least the camp, but now we have level 16 talents. They also have Born in Battle right there. That would suck. Imagine being born in battle. That's a pretty unlucky baby right there. So I'm really sorry for you, Zarya. Now so much more makes sense. The hair, the color, like so many things about Zarya now make sense now that I know that. I mean, if you're not traumatized when you're getting born in battle, then I don't know what. So yeah, this is making a lot more sense to me right now. Thanks for explaining. But yeah, that's a really unlucky baby. Born in battle. Holy shit. I'm just imagining this right now. Oof. So yeah, we got... that ult went nowhere. So that was a bit unfortunate. Play not hitting that. Boss at the top still. Oh, Nubarak! Ah, get wrecked, son. Nubarak gets absolutely destroyed. So they get another one killed, more gems removed, and oh boy, is this going badly for the red team now. They're having some real problems. A lot of them, by the way. So yeah, there's another story being told, but oh, Jaina, just like a bunny, getting pulled in by Garrosh, then Junkrat, then a Garrosh again. One keep down, two keeps down. The blue team got a little bit angry after the first game, didn't they? I got really mad here. They're just destroying everything. If anything, I'm so... Okay, 16 is now in. So there's that. But on top of that, the Earth Shaker. Earth Shaker just reminds me of Dota 2. Alright, off we go. Okay, is in. Dota 2 has also some very funny voices. Look at it go! Look at it go! Definitely one of my favorite ones. Dong, 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 dong. Everything's done. So, anyways. Uki is already back at it. Now that he has no gems left, he can obviously be a bit more aggressive with this, but they couldn't prevent the turn-in from happening, so now the blue team can rely on another set of web weavers, and this might just be the final blow. The top lane is already pushed out extremely heavily, meaning the web weavers are going to spawn right here, and they will go for the final keep, so that thing's a goner. The only question is, can they save the core to fight another day? That's the only real question here. But already they're making another move for BananaH. Uki is moving in, Cocoon is out. Zoning this a bit. They're fighting heavily here, which means that the middle and the top lane get a free push towards the core, and the red team is completely split. They're in a really weird spot now. I mean, they're together as 5, but they're split from their core, so there's just a wedge driven between them and base. So now Urel is gone, and guys, this is obviously going to be the end of it. So the entire team is getting murdered here. They already lost 3, they're going to lose more, but they're also going to lose the core at the same time. Jaina likely the next one to fall. Some of them are just escaping, and now they're remembering that they just need to kill the core, and that's all there's to it. So this is definitely a tight series as we are heading into game number 3. Nicely done by Team Madara. They win Tomb of the Spider Queen and tie the match. GG. Game number 3, Towers of Doom. 20 heroes have been played and won't be played again. And we have a tight series. Very nice performance by Madara's team on the second map. Now, given the fact that on Dragonshire we already had the Vikings banned, I would assume that the blue team is now going to get rid of them as well, since this is obviously another strong Vikings map, and there's more reason to ban the Vikings here than on Dragonshire. So if on one map you're getting rid of them, then you should also respect Hazu enough that you give him the axe on towers. It's starting to become a little bit more interesting. I mean, again, 20 heroes are unavailable. In total, we have 90 in the pool, so there's still plenty to choose from. You're not going to run out of any roles anytime soon. But now we have to put a little bit more thought into, okay, what can we get? What can we play around? What's still available? Do we play Falstad here? Do we want to have a global? Is somebody rocking a Samoro? Is somebody going for an Avatar comp? Any kind of curveball composition that you can throw your opponent? Or do we just go as standard as we possibly can with what's available? So they're getting rid of Sergeant Hammer first. Now, keep in mind, they banned Rexxar twice. If they want to continue to ban the Vikings here on a big map, then they have to at least let Rexxar through, which might be something that Hazu picks up. Definitely a possible choice for the side lane, but, well, with Stitches already eliminated, frontline gets targeted a bit. And we're getting Zeratul banned. I'm kind of unhappy about that. I like that we saw a bit more Zeratul the last, I want to say, 2 weeks. Not a lot, but again, was there. So I would have loved to see another good Zeratul game. So, yeah. But okay, we have the next ban coming in, and they're actually hesitating on this one. So, okay. I mean, maybe the reasoning is that if the Vikings get picked in the first rotation, then they can still counterpick. But, yeah, they banned Tracer. Alright, so Vikings are up, and technically also Rexxar. They get rid of damage dealers instead. Okay, so now you are in an interesting world, because now if the red team wants to pick the Vikings, they need to pick them in, or they should have an interest in picking them in that first pick rotation now, because if they don't, then there's another ban opportunity for Team Madara, and again, this is a pretty decent Vikings map. You can always delay the opponent around altar channels, you can try and steal a few away from them. Map control in general, really important. Uther as a first pick is also an interesting choice, because they don't have to play him as a healer, they can play like that. They went for the Vikings themselves. Good shit. Sven is coming in and is like, you know what? If you don't pick him first, I'm gonna pick them away from you. So that's one way to deal with them. They gambled a bit and thought, okay, they're never gonna take them as the first pick. And now Sven just says, alright, I'm gonna do it for you. Okay, here we go. Sven with the Vikings played them before, yes, but I had more Hazu as the one that is going to try and lock him in quickly. I was about to say that Uther can be a main tank. They get Vala, they get fall stats, there's already good damage. And if they now, for example, combo a second healer into this, then their Vala can go for an auto attack play a little bit more. But yes, I like what's happening here. Good plays, good builds too for game number 3. So this is gonna get real interesting. And Vala in particular could... I mean, honestly, I'm interested to see the build. If they go for a double support, then obviously it's going to be very obvious what she's going to choose. But given the fact that they've also locked Falstad in, they don't really have to do any of this. So, yeah, gotta be careful here. Illidan gets banned, so they don't want to give them any momentum there. Would also create more space for Vala. She could go for a multi-shot build, she could go for an arrow build. Plenty of opportunities to lock targets in and get the stacking going. So, definitely a lot of different approaches that they could now use with all of this. But okay. What does the red team ban? So there's damage, of course, still to be banned out if they want to get rid of it. There's also still supports if you want to eliminate specific ones, but they are looking at Madara and try to take some of the mages away. Mephisto is still up if you want to go full mage city on this one. Cassia is still up, another good choice, of course. And, well, for the blue team, it's going to be a pretty important double pick for them now. There's a global on the other side. They got Vala. That's strong. They go Stukov and they go Cassia. Okay. I kind of like what we're seeing here. Vikings composition with a pretty standard and solid draft. And then on the other side you have Vala, you have Falstad, Uther right now as a healer. Are they going to draft a tank or do they just use him as a main tank? That's the big question. So, time to go. Oriel, it's a double support, and Hogga. So, Uther main tank with Oriel support behind it. Vala very likely going for an auto attack style, therefore. Falstad can help out with the global. Vala can stack against the Vikings a little bit, can stack against the rest of the team. So she's gonna try to go full auto attack on this one. Very likely. And that leaves us with the final choice for the blue team. And now here in Towers of Doom, what do we get from them? They have Cassia, their single damage thus far, Vikings to control the map. And the final choice is Maiev. Tether into a Lurking Arm. Let's go. Game number 3, everybody. We're going to Towers of Doom. Third game in the best of 5. We have Madara on Cassia, Ixi on Stuko for the blue team, Sven on the Vikings, Play on Joanna, and Dobby on Maiev. So, on the right side of the map, it is BananaH and his boys, with the captain playing Uther as the main tank, I guess. Hazops on Falstad, Vexu on Oriel, we got Uki on Hogga, and Lopaka is playing Vala. Hasn't made a choice yet, but this is looking very much like a draft for auto attack. Would be interesting to see him go into something different here. Haven't seen Vala go into an arrow build outside of Battlefield of Eternity in a while, but that can of course always chunk a lot too. But as you can tell, it's auto attacks all the way around against the Vikings. You should have some extra opportunities to get stacks together, but let's see how aggressive he is going to play this year. So, yeah. Dobby found a sock, he is a free spirit, and is immediately engaging the opponent's team to get a good tether going here. Right on the money. Dollar bill, yeah. I mean, honestly, I personally think that if you're going to write some money, then either go for the piggy bank or you're going for the doubloon. Doubloon is also pretty sexy. I'm not so sure what I think about this particular thing here. So yeah, BananaH already going down as the game starts. So even with the double support, they weren't able to keep Uther alive. Good start for the blue team. So, yeah, well done. But again, we now have at the bottom of the map a little bit of ping pong being played here, and another tether, and Hogga is dead. Alright, so Dobby in particular is punishing all of the muggles here, as it seems. Comes in, Hogga needs a bath, there's a tether and a kill, and now they're invading the camp. They're starting off strong. They're starting off really strong. 2 kills and stealing the opponent's pumpkins away. That's kind of nasty. So, yeah. Here we go. BananaH gets slowed. Oh, and the stun saves the day. That could have been even more tricky. That pumpkin here, kind of griefing a little bit. Could have definitely moved into range, but yeah, at least they got another one connected. So there's that. But yeah, I actually heard that they're redoing Highlander not quite sure if you guys are aware of this, but Highlander, if a good Highlander remake would be amazing. That would actually be really cool. Like some of the Highlander movies back in the day, and even this series were kind of cool. I gotta admit that I kind of liked the series. I enjoyed that when I was younger. But if a good Highlander remake would be incredible. So one of those things where I'm like, if this is a hit, that would be awesome. I just hope that they don't ruin my childhood again, because these days they seem to be very interested in doing exactly that. But yeah. So, more pumpkins, more damage. We got the repeated offense from our girl here, from Oriel. A little bit of slapping, couple of whips in here. So we got Stukov, we got Oriel. I mean, we have us more or less a sex dungeon right there. You get slapped, you get whipped, and somebody is definitely going to spit in your face, even though Brightwing isn't here right now. Brightwing has some magic spit, but they got all the other ingredients already together. And given the fact that Oriel is already going for a whip again and shows some uncanny precision with this, I think there's years of practice there. And there's only two things that it could mean. Either you are Indiana Jones incarnated, or you have certain preferences. So yeah, there's that. Shots are being fired once again, and in this case we have a lead already for Team Madara, so they get 2 of the altars channeled, 1 on the other side. Having the Vikings, of course, control the map for you allows that 4-man to be very, very aggressive with all of this. And it is exactly what they're doing. The 4-man is starting to pressure the bot lane more and more. They have an early level 7 now as well. Cassia went into the Surge of Light and the Plate of the Whale. So there we go. Top side, Balog still a little bit slow here. They got the Vikings against Hogga. I mean, Vala is at 47 stacks. That isn't too bad either. There's always a couple of Vikings that you can try and play against, and Lopaka has a lot of stack opportunities here too. Keeps his Hatred stacks up a little bit longer. BananaH dead again. That's starting to be a bit unfortunate. Now, to be fair, they have 2 blinds against Vala. So that doesn't negate the hero, but it can make some of the team fights a bit more annoying for Vala and limit her damage output for sure. So if you land both of them properly, then you can definitely do a whole lot. Particularly when we're talking about any kind of choke point scenario, this could be a thing. But there's another kill. It's 4 kills to 1, and they're just doing an excellent job keeping BananaH's team low. Always another attack coming, always another wall that gets destroyed, a push that's happening, a kill that comes through, lead in experience. So the early game is definitely theirs. Early game is looking very strong for them now. We have Gathering Storm in for Falstad. He's sitting at 28. So they're all trying to stack for the late game, since Towers of Doom is very late game reliant. This is normally what you're looking for. You want to get into a strong late game and then just dominate, get momentum for your team, and just fully take over. So this is something that they're definitely going to be looking for. Question is always, how many kills can they get against Vala? How much can they do there? But right now, it is really the blue team that is doing all of the big plays. Now, level 10 is soon going to be there. I gotta at least highlight the top lane a bit more, because this fort is down to 50% HP, so that's already big. 4 more shots now fired against Team BananaH, and here's level 10, but it seems like they're gonna get this one eventually. There is a rotation coming their way, so they're finally starting to move back. But there's the disc, and that could be the end of Hogga. With the silence kicking into, yep, there it is, and Hogga is dead. It's actually kind of wild to me. I still remember when they came in with a patch and they said, you know what, disc isn't strong enough, we need to add a silence to it. And all the Maiev players were like, thank you. It was already the dominant talent, but yeah, cheers boys, we'll take that. So now they even got Oriel, and that is a double kill. 6 kills to 1 in total. And well, with that, we now have already another play for the bottom of the map. And them, of course, trying to convert the bell towers over. They got Vikings still sitting at the side. We got Aegis now in the house too. So a few more tools to save the day for Vala and some of the other heroes. And they definitely need them, considering that even with 2 supports, they have lost a lot of heroes already. But now you have Divine Shield and you have Aegis. Already one of them baited out. Yeah, Cassia with Valkyrie forced the issue. And there's the Divine Shield too, so they used 2 of them. Vala still getting stacks, and again, I gotta say it, as long as she doesn't die, they're gonna look at a very strong late game one way or another. Vala can be extremely powerful with this, and here comes some stats padding from Vala as she moves in. targets Olaf, gets additional stacks on the level 1. Now 15,000 damage for her now, so she's nowhere near what Cassia brings to the table with the 21,000. But I'm telling you, this is likely going to change as the game continues, always assuming that she doesn't die and doesn't lose these gambit stacks. That extra experience, the extra attack speed is obviously quite neat. It's also not too bad to have 85 stacks at the 8-minute mark, given the flow of these games. But the channels are not happening, so another channel at the top left. Ult on the Vikings was used to also revive the rest of them. Hazu gets at least 1, but they're down to 24 points now against 32. So there's a clear advantage on the core for Team Madara. They kind of woke up after game number 1, but the red team is still doing their due diligence here. They're stacking Falstad, they're stacking Vala. They're doing what they can to guarantee a good late, mid, and late game. So let's see if they can get to that point. Because again, once you got Manticore, things change. And they are the first ones to take down a bell tower, so that's something that we should also keep an eye on, because yes, the team in blue reacts and take the bot lane, but it's not like structurally BananaH's team isn't getting any progress done. And Sven is now struggling to keep those pumpkins away from the core, so they need some more assistance. Both teams with level 13 talents. Yeah, Eric is coming in as well. And they get the spin to win in. So, yeah, there's the jump. Still a chance to get those. No. They get all of them. Okay. All of the pumpkins are eliminated. 2 Vikings have paid with their life for it, but they were able to pull that off. So, yeah, that's something. Down here, Vala still stacking. Had to also deal with some of the blinds there for just a second, but still looking at 100 stacks any moment. So that is the second one in. Gast is out. Hogga spin to win and survive and is able to get away. Vikings are trying to control the top lane again, but the blue team, I don't want to say that they're struggling, but they're definitely not in a position where they can get too far ahead here. They have this half-level gap and they had it for a while, but they're not getting any further away from this. With 2 altars spawning while the fight is raging on though, the Vikings can do their thing and go for the channel, and they will. So now Divine Shield had to be used to save Vala again. She's at 112 stacks now, and of course Falset is not going to get a free channel in the middle either. Whereas Eric has already channeled through the bottom, and Balog is taking care of the top lane and slowly reclaims that structure. So in the middle, where the fight over the altar rages on, this is where Vala can now really start stacking if she gets into a decent position. Sits 121, and they get the kill on Maiev. Things are getting a bit more tricky for the blue team, as you can tell. Vala is now at 27,000 damage, still not top damage in the game, but they won the fight and now take on the altar. To be fair, there's obviously always the caveat that the Vikings didn't participate in the battle, so that's something to be highlighted. And once that level 16 hits for the Vikings, it's much more likely that they're going to enter team fights because of large and in charge for Olaf. But still, the red team is doing a bit better here. They also retake the bottom bell tower, so now they have a lead even. 5-3. And Vala is at 133, so only 17 away from the next quest reward that she's gonna get. And more importantly, half a level away from 16 when Manticore starts to kick in. So that one is gonna be big. 16, of course, a little bit faster for Team Madara. They still want to fight here, apparently, against the level 16 talent. Oof, boys. That's some ballsy choices that you're making here. Divine Shield on Vala, so far so good. Good heal also. Balog down, but Hogga dies as well. I don't really understand why they forced that fight. I really don't get it. Falset was at the top, or is right now, so yet now it's 16 versus 16. But just generally, there was no need to force that battle. You could definitely wait this out a bit longer, and now they are down one of their heroes and have to be careful since they are running pretty tight ship at the bot lane with this 3 versus 4 situation that is going on now. Manticore is of course in, and you can really see that Vala is starting to chunk. Some of the pumpkins made it through at the top lane, which you might have seen on the minimap. Falster doing a great job controlling this. Obviously they're not going to lose that, but the triple altar phase is coming, so he needs to hurry up a bit on it. And Falstad is at the same amount of damage as Vala. Both of them are getting closer and closer to Cassia now too. But the next few fights are definitely going to show how this is going to develop. He's still trying to take this altar back. Apparently it's not happening. Interrupts on the right side. Yeah, Olaf is now going for the channel over here. That's only going to be 3 shots fired since they can't take that bell tower back in time. And down here at the bottom of the map, the fight also continues. So they're still trying to go for that altar. This is where the Vikings could now also start to join, but there's nobody sent into the middle. So it doesn't seem that Sven wants to join this fight. And as I say it, Olaf is now slowly moving down. So they could use the ult, could get the Vikings into action and use Largen in charge to maybe get something done. But while all of this happens, we still have Balog at the top, trying to reclaim the bell tower. Down here, nice zoning also from Stukov. 7 kills to 5. Vala stacking. Same for Falstad. He's at 79 stacks right now. And they're getting the damage out. Balog still fighting up at the top. Channel is happening again. Quick Largen and charge stun from Sven's Olaf as they're pushing Falstad back from it. And Balog should be nearly done with this. So they're reclaiming it. No matter who takes it, the situation on bell towers has... Oh, Madara! Oh my god. Close call, my friend. So yeah, 4-4 bell tower situation. A little bit of a channel attempt here by Sven. Not cheeky whatsoever. So, and down here... Vala nearly dying, but gets saved by the Divine Shield once again. And the disc just misses. Barely missing out on the disc. Vikings always hovering around the turn-in point, doing their best here to make all of this work. But yeah, it's getting real crowded. And the Vikings are still on lane. That's an entire level lead that we now have because Sven has not had to commit to anything down here. And they get the channel. They zone them away. Didn't have to utilize the Vikings even once in this context. Get still an experience lead thanks to their control on the side lanes. And this is looking really nice now for the blue team. While the red team is starting to bring this back a little bit, they are getting in a very nice spot around the core points at least. 22-13, so they have them close to the single digits. It's a very close game now, but the Vikings are pushing out all of those lanes. 47,000 damage for Falstad. Him getting all of these stacks initially against the Vikings and now participating in these team fights definitely has a huge impact. And yeah, Balog is starting to break through that wall up at the top. It is a really interesting game. There's more and more damage scaling going on for Team BananaH, but now it's the blue team that is again able to get some extra control, and the Vikings propelling them towards level 20 helps a lot with this too. So now they have a 5 versus 3 bell tower situation going on for themselves, since they just converted the bottom right over again. And they are closing in on level 20. So level 20 any seconds, and then it's just a question of what exactly are they going to do with that window. Because they do have a window now. Yeah, already making another move for Hogger, and oh boy, got out, not hit by the blessed hammer here, but level 20 is now in, and now they have to try and take a few more bell towers, I would say, because they can't get too much done on the altars. There's only a single altar that is coming in. Vala is again able to get out, hasn't died once yet. Nice gust into the tower range. Good follow-up also with the stun, and that's a kill. Nice move by Hogger. It allowed Vala to get close and take Stukov down, and that kill is hugely important for the red team because now they have some extra time that they can use before the opponent is going to get dangerous again. So without any support, what's going to happen is we're trading an altar for the boss. Each team gets 4 points. Actually, it's not quite true because the red team is only going to get 3 here, but still, it's not too bad. They made sure that that level 20 advantage is not going to be as impactful, though, as it could have been, so nicely done. Good kill. 4 shots fired, single digits on the core now. Team BananaH is down to 9 points. Exactly. And the bell tower has been retaken. So, things are being reset as level 20 is now ready, and that gives us for Vala also the Acrobat. Lopaka also dancing around, getting the synergy, of course, with the Death Dealer here on level 1. Blessed Shield, nice! Can they get the kill? Yes, Uther is dead. He has redemption though. Uther is gone, but he has redemption, so he'll be back. He's gonna pull an Arnie. I'll be back. And yeah. They are still sieging up on that bottom bell tower. Vikings are not fully committed yet, so we still have Balog at the top. 8 kills to 7. Way closer than initially looked. Still Cassia with the top damage in the game here. 68,000 for her. And it's not over yet. God, I just wish they had a bit more AoE damage. Just imagine when they had the huge Blessed Shield and then the combo with the Condemn afterwards, and there was a, I don't know, Ring of Frost, for example, behind it. That would have been nasty as hell. Vala's, by the way, top siege damage for the... I have no idea what just happened there. Seemed like for a second that Vala... Did Vala just fat finger her ult, or did I miss her zoning somebody away here? Seemed for a second like he just accidentally hit Strafe. I don't know if there was a reason that I missed, but it didn't seem that anybody was around that you could zone with Strafe. So, yeah. Maybe I didn't catch something, but this looked like a fat finger play for sure. So... bit unlucky, I guess, but the cooldown is low, so it's not that big of a problem. Already the channel happening up here. Just look how many of these Khaldrops we have the entire time. Like, he's dancing around them wherever he can. Shots are fired, we're down to 5 points on the core. Obviously, there's also going to be a channel from Team BananaH, since it's an even trade. But at the bottom, they're trying for bell tower control again. 15 points on the core against 5. Vala nearly at 200 stacks, so she's going to get some extra damage in a moment. It's a wild game. It's a really wild game. I have no idea who's going to take this one. I mean, at the end of the day, anybody could. If you win a big team fight right now, then yeah, it could be absolutely massive here. And we didn't have an extended team fight in a while. So 55,000. Ooh, yeah. Eric gone. Vala's the only one on the red team side that hasn't died yet. I mean, exactly as it should be. You want to protect that attack speed as best as you can. And there's another quest reward for Vala. They get also a potential kill here. Oh, misses out on it barely. But they're doing a decent job down here against that bell tower. And they're killing Jojo. Johanna is gone. And all of a sudden, the blue team is in a bit of an awkward spot. Because now they're going to lose control. They're going to lose the bell tower. They're going to take the one at the top. So at least they're up for an even trade. But both of the altars are going to spawn at the bottom of the map, and they can only hope that by the time it's back. Yeah, so he actually uses Strafe not to damage anything. At this point, he's just coming in and uses Strafe as a movement tool. That's all. This is all that it is. It's just a movement tool for Lobarka. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do more damage when I just auto-attack shit. So right now, it's just a movement thing for him. Nothing else. Strafe just gets thrown out there. And with all of the single target damage, they're getting another bell tower converted over. 5 versus 3 situation. And it's a double altar that's up next. And yeah, there's the Gust. And Madara is dead. Yeah, no chance. Madara is dead. Staggered kill. That's the worst case scenario. Jojo back and another minute until Cassia's back to business. So yeah, that is a problem. That is a huge problem right now. So, with that, we have another set of shots fired. Vala has Strafe back up. Yeah, uses it this time to actually deal some damage. Can, of course, always keep those hatred stacks up. Use it as just a movement between the lanes so far in order to not lose out on any of those. But in this case, at least Balog also took a couple of hits. But they have them now down to 6 points on the core. And another 30 seconds until we have Cassia back. And it's 4 versus 4 bell towers again. But with all of the pumpkins that just got locked in, we now have them move through the bot lane again. And that's 6 shots in general. So you have to make a stand here. There's no other thing. So, yeah, there it is. This is the chance to end, well, not end the game, but they get a little bit closer. If they can just get a few of the pumpkins through, this would already be a big deal. So, it's party time. Cassia is back. 68,000 damage for Falstad. He's the one that inches closer to Cassia's output. Yeah, Vala also with a bit more poke here. Hasn't given up on the #1 slot yet either. And gets a few more hits together here too. So yeah, the blinds are of course still a bit of a problem. But he's playing around them as best as he can, and now he's overtaking Falstad. 69,000, closing in on Falstad. The battle and the poke is continuously happening here. And we have Sven now trying to claim some pumpkins at the top. I mean, again, they are also in a position where just the 2 sets of pumpkins would end the game in their favor. So, tons of stuff happening, and also the disc missing. It's kind of unfortunate. If Uther gets hit there, that's a chance for them. Vikings retake at the bot lane, as it seems. So that puts them again into the driver's seat a little bit. If they get this one, then a single altar for Team Madara wins them the game. So, yeah, that would be pretty big. And they're gonna take it. And they might get Hazu. No, the old man! Is he griefing? He's not. He's actually alive. Looked like Sven charged into the bell tower. I'm actually not sure what happened there, but it looked like he went for the charge and charged into the bell tower. Blizzard Spaghetti Code griefing the game maybe for them here. They're going for the fight right now. Vikings could still use their ult, especially now that he's dead. So there's a chance, and they already did exactly that, so the battle isn't over yet. Here comes the fight, trying to go for Banana, and he's down. Ghost action, the problem of course being he still has redemption. He'll be back in a moment. But they're going for another kill in the meantime. Aegis has to be used too. Vikings are chasing Falstad. Hazu gets stunned again. Hazu is low. Hazu is really low. They're all low. They're all in trouble. All of them. Vala with another stack that she gets. But yeah, there's real trouble brewing here. A lot of the Vikings have been obliterated. So there's only Balog left. I guess that's the good news. But yeah, they're all back here to nearly top HP. Hazu tapping the fountain, but at least control is now slowly taken from the perspective of Team Madara. They're getting closer to a channel, and they cannot get this one. This is one that BananaH has to fight for. There's the wind tunnel. Oh, Vala! So low! Vala is low, but it's Stukov that falls. Stukov is dead, and they just cannot get that bloody counter kill, can they now? 85,000 damage now for Vala. Cassia is sitting at nearly 100,000. She's about to join the 6-digit club. They kill Balog, and there's just no counter kill. The double support is making it way too tricky, and it's going to be a channel. We're going to look at only 3 points on the core. Against 2, by the way. The Pumpkins made it through at the top. 2 points against 3. Yes, the altar was channeled by BananaH and his boys, but the Pumpkins made it through and dropped them low. And now there is still a boss up. You could still go for boss now. And they kind of have to. Because, oh, Stukov is not here yet. Can they catch? Can they catch somebody? No, Hogger gets out too. And they're catching Madara. No way. That's a problem. Oh, but Hogger dies. Oh, and the self-Aegis here. What is happening? This game is getting bonkers. Absolutely nuts. Dobby is dead. Didn't get a sock after all. And now Vala is chasing them down one after another. She has a 284 stacks. 100,000 damage for Vala. She's top damage in the game now. We have a 3 versus 4 on the map. Counting the Vikings as 1 there for a second. If they can't get a counter kill here, if Stukov dies, it's over. And he's body blocked and dead. Down he goes. That's that. 15 kills, 210. And this is game. Team BananaH taking the lead here once more. Nicely done. Well played. They're going to lock this one in. But boy, what a fight, particularly towards the end here. And Vala, she goes for the full completion. Play, of course, he can only delay it a bit, but it's not happening. A victory for the red team. They take the lead again in this best of 5 as we are headed towards game number 4. GG and well played. Alright, game number 4, Garden of Terror, another big map, and this time without the Vikings. So, we're going to Garden, everybody. Towers of Doom, pretty spicy map with a spicy finish, and BananaH was able to win it. I honestly feel for Madara and his team. Imagine going from one victory to another in the round robin, then at the end being shut down there, losing your match in the winner bracket semi-final once the bracket phase starts, and now you're already down in the best of 5 and you're 1 map away from being eliminated from the tournament. It feels bad. It honestly does. Good for the red team. They have a match point here, and of course 30 heroes are now unavailable. Because at this point we are looking at a scenario in which 30 heroes have been played, cannot be played again, and that limits the options slightly. Now, Abathar is already banned, so this means that there can't be any kind of shenanigans with, I don't know, Abathar Samuro, for example, so there's that. And yeah, kind of curious to see what exactly they're going to bust out this time. Options are a bit more limited. We still have Tracer and a couple of other heroes up. They were mostly banned or ignored in the previous games. And there's the Samuro ban. So yeah, it's not only Abathur that gets the axe, but Samuro is also getting eliminated. Everybody's just looking at this and thinks about, okay, what could be thrown our way that we don't expect here, and that could be a problem. So yeah. I mean, Butcher is still up, just saying. You could go for the meat. All the meat. The one hero that gets pretty much never played because he's that bad. It's actually kind of crazy. Even in Meta Madness, when we're down to the last 20-30 heroes, Butcher barely gets played. Nobody really wants to play him. It's always that much of a risk, simply. So, yeah. Gone are the days where you would see on the professional or semi-professional level Butcher Falstad combos. It was played in Prague back in the day. One of the first tournaments where that was done. So yeah, it was kind of funny to see that. Quick ult with the Butcher. Falstad gusts everybody away. Easy free kill. But obviously that was a long, long time ago. We get Medivh. We're starting things off with Medivh, and yeah, so far so good. I like myself a good Medivh. Medivh is always also fun because you can really just like play this game where you just look at this baseline stats, and Ultralist definitely remembers that from the first play there here in the winner bracket, because he had, I mean, how many times did he die? It was Infernal Shrines, I believe, where they played, and they just did not let him get any stacks here. It was kind of crazy. So we get Brightwing and we get Tyrael. Tyrael's still up here. Could technically also be the Hunt, of course. So, Judgment. Budget Hunt. So that could also be a thing. And talking about, by the way, the Hunt, we could still get Illidan. There's a very serious chance that we're going to get Illidan on this map. He was already banned on the previous one. And Garden of Terror is another one where with a pseudo-global you can gain map control, or you can of course go Metamorphosis. Yes, this is normally a Darkmog thing, but even here, that could be played by them. Sonya, always strong in a third, fourth, fifth game. Tyrande. Again, Tyrande, last time she was played, she got murdered. She still has this big problem with survivability and trying to get away. So if we're now getting heroes that can target her with Judgment, the Hunt, whatever it is, she's gonna have a rough time. Medivh will have to work overtime in order to keep her alive. If on the other hand they can chain some CC, then she might be a biggest asset. Varian gets banned. Now ETC is, for example, still up, so the old school ETC Tyrande comp is technically still up. Sergeant Hammer also available but gets banned, which means that Illidan is up for grabs for whichever team wants him. And with Tyrael, if you want to play Illidan here, you can. Judgment plus Hunt works. Sanctification plus Illidan in general works as well. So you have quite a few options. If they want to be that aggressive. Can be an asset on a big map like this, just saying. Rexa, on the other hand, gets taken quickly, and we get Greymane, so the chances of Illidan making an appearance here have definitely shrunk a little bit. So we get the man with the mask once again. And Greymane. Rexa always gives hope. Rexa always reminds us that no matter how bad you are at your job, there's always someone that's worse. Imperius and Madara. I should put a little bit of context to this, but they're about to finish the draft. But anybody, any connoisseur of porn dialogue in German knows what I'm talking about. Der Mann mit der Maske. Oh god, it's so bad. But yeah, maybe I talk about it in the game. But the Germans should know what I'm talking about here. So last pick. Reyna is actually making me happy. Reyna and Imperius, they got some CC, and there's ETC coming in. Alright guys, so we're set. Garden of Terror is our first match point. Match point for Team BananaH. Let's go. We have still a pretty interesting composition here on each side. So let's see what the teams can pull off on map number 4. Game number 4, Madara on Reina, Dobby on Medivh. We got Play on Imperius for the blue team, Sven on Sonya, and Ixia is playing Tyrande. On the right side, it's BananaH with Greymane, Uki on ETC. We have Vexu on Brightwing and Lopaka on Tyrael and Hazops on Rexa. Alright, I think for the non-Germans I have to explain this a little bit. So, when I was a lot younger, there was a very famous meme in Germany because somebody clipped a porn dialogue from some movie, and basically there was a guy in a mask, aka Rexa, and they were in some basement or whatever, and he was like talking to a chick, and the dialogue went basically as follows. I mean, obviously translating. So there was like straw in the corner. he was asking her, so why is there straw in the corner? And she just simply replied like, why do you have a mask on? He's like, well then why don't you blow me? And that was the entire dialogue. And every single time I see Rexa with his stupid mask, I'm being reminded of this dumb dialogue. And everybody learned back then that no matter how much you suck at your job, you cannot possibly suck more than this guy that wrote that particular dialogue. No pun intended. But yeah, so if everything else fails, you can at least go into the porn business and write dialogues. So that's always an option. Absolutely glorious. So yeah. Bit of a throwback there. Old school memes. Medivh has, by the way, died. Talk about memes. So yeah, in this case it doesn't matter because he didn't have any stacks. And Jimmy's now dead too. Jesus. Save moment for them. 2 kills to 0 already. This is getting rough. Only a minute into the game and there's already 2 kills on the board. Damn son. So now they're going into camps with the camps just spawning. But not the opening that you want in the first match point against you. So, yeah. Gotta be a little bit more careful with that. So, we have Rexa with his mask. I mean, honestly, like, that context also makes me wonder a little bit what Rexa does with Misha. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. Let's not talk about this. It's all fine. Nothing's happening here. I didn't say anything, you didn't hear anything, so we're all Gucci. Top side, we have Greymane. They got the camp. Greymane on the money pick. Good thing for him, it's not only shitting doubloons, but it's also a snack. If you're a wolf and you ride on the piggy, then it's also a snack. And we have ETC dying quickly in the middle, so finally the blue team also showing some teeth here. And starting to push this back a bit. So far, so good. But one of the things that we definitely have to check out at the top is also Madara with Reina. No stacking for him, by the way. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see what they can do with this. I'm still a bit skeptical with Tyrande. They have, of course, some stuns, particularly with the main tank Imperius that they have here. And they are going for Trashwing. And yep, Brightwing gets clapped like the fruit fly she is. Bam. Off we go. Friend. Shut up. So, Hazu with the first channel. Or the second one, actually. No, first. First seat is in. And up at the top, well, here we are getting another quick slide. ETC obviously is also playing a role when you're trying to control the portal of Medivh. We've been talking about this in the winner bracket already quite a bit. So whenever you have some easy zone control there, you can do a lot. If you're looking at their lineup and you see ETC plus Tyrael, then you're immediately thinking, okay, what are they doing here? It's technically, it's 2 tanks, but don't forget, you can go Judgment and play more of an aggressive style with Tyrael. You can also play ETC in a side laner position, which he has been played in for a long time in the days of HGC. So it's not really an uncommon lineup that they're running here. They have a very, very melee heavy and stun heavy combo with some of their side laners, and then Greymane can follow up on that. There's a huge amount of CC involved in all of this. But yeah. We already have level 7 on the board for the blue team. They're obviously fighting for survival here. If you're losing this match, then you are out of the tournament and finishing pretty much a last spot. Tyrael, a little bit lost here, and he can survive for a bit longer and try to buy some time, but eventually he is going to... No way. He gets owled towards the end, but yeah, Madara is not gonna be happy about that. Oh boy, he's not gonna like that. That was rough. So yes, if now Medivh dies again, this time with stacks, but that was brutal. So, yeah, you know what Madara is going to hate even more? The fact that I am going to show that again, because it was just so damn good. They really thought they had it for sure, but the fight continues, so we're going to wait with that replay for another second. But boy, oh boy. So, Medivh dies, loses all his stacks, but they still are able to grab that, that seed, so good for them. But let's take another look at this. I mean, they thought they had him, so Tyrael, he's just like, you know what, boys, I got my shield, and yeah, I'm gonna get him. Medivh not reacting there either with anything. I'm not quite sure it was fully on cooldown, but that looked a bit wild. So 3 kills to 4, but what a game already. Some really fun moves there. Medivh, of course, with 0 stacks, but they steal the camp away from the opponent's team. So good for them. They're taking the Bruiser camp, and now we still have a bit of a lead for the red team, for BananaH and his boys, but yeah, kind of wild here. Some really interesting plays, to say the least. He got owled in the end, so there's that. Now we also got the Purge Evil and we got the Divine Vigor, so already looking at a more aggressive build for Tyrael. Again, keep Judgment as an option in mind, and there it is. Judgment is in. Now the only question is, what is ETC going to do? Are we going to get a Mosh, or are they going to really try and play a little of a global card here and also dive into the backline? Because you could really try and jump onto Toronto, for example. So that's the thing. We got the ley line. We're also getting the Hyperion in this one, so no Reyna's Raiders. And ETC hasn't made a choice yet. Neither. There we go. We have Wrath of Anguirus is in. And if you're going Wrath and ETC jumps, you can technically try and just simply catch him there. Talking about catching things with the ley line, they're starting to catch Misha at the top. Another slide is happening too, though. Here's the Hyperion. Oh, that's a problem for Greymane. Yeah, Banana went in and gets now crushed. So a little bit too aggressive on this. Thought he had a chance there, and then he jumped straight into Hyperion technically, and that proved to be fatal. There's a bit of a slide. Can they go and interrupt? Yeah, Tirana has to stay away from this, or she's going to get caught in a potential mosh as well. Judgment against Madara. They want him. They can definitely get him here. They should be able to get him. They just need to go. But they went a bit too late, and now he got away. But they're going again for Medivh. He's at 9 stacks. First they kill Tirana. She has no chance there. Medivh says goodbye to, loses the few stacks that he had. Hazu survives. No, he doesn't. Gets finally killed by Imperius. But Imperius might also get murdered for it. And at least he made it out. Now, during all of this, at the bottom of the map, a fort was lost. So Sven is currently using his PhD in PvE to push these lanes out a bit and get some value here. But they had to give up on the seed, so now the Garden Terrors are in. And it is an interesting game again, and the entire series has been pretty wild, honestly. We now look at a situation where Team Madara has taken down a fort, but they are going up against the Garden Terrors. These are very early in the game though, so very unlikely that Team BananaH is going to get too much value out of this. If they can get one fort, that would already be a bit of a win, I'd say. So we'll see how well they can defend here. First one is already taken out, and up at the top, particularly with Exterminator as a level 1 talent, we are gonna see a very quick defense from Reyna, and that's exactly what he did. Madara is still gonna die here though. Actually, he isn't, because of the portal. Whoa, portal games, in, out. This is some sex, boys. I don't know how you do it, but yeah, so they are just playing the portal game. In, out, in the entire time, dodging out on all of the attacks. First the power slide was dodged, and then at the top they also evaded Tyrael, so nicely done. And that puts them into a pretty good position, because Sven is still getting camps here while all of these fights are happening. Medivh might not get his stacks, which is a little bit annoying, but he's still empowering a lot of their plays, and they consistently have Sonya at the side just doing her thing, taking the lane down, taking a fort down. They're getting value there. Medivh, of course, cheating a little bit as he's just trying to grant some extra vision. But now we have level 13 talents on both sides. More camps being claimed. Sven is here once again. And yeah, it's a fairly interesting game, honestly. A couple of very aggressive moves too. And Uki is always good for a power slide here. I mean, all the time. But now we have camps pushing on 2 lanes, and Greymane is currently dealing with them. But with Sonya moving in, there's actually a chance for them to make a bit of a play here. So, yeah, they have Sonya with Wrath of the Berserker, since they have only Imperius as their main tank. But this camp at the bottom has to be dealt with eventually, particularly since we also have, of course, a catapult in. So Hyperion used at the top, Greymane not with the team, means that they can now push against this top fort, and that's exactly what they're doing. Stun into stun, nice, here's the delivery system, as they're going full DoorDash, and that's the end of Tyrael. Well played. Really good job. So with that, we all of a sudden have another kill for the blue team. They're trying to follow up with even more. The top fort has also been destroyed. They're going for another kill, trying to get Uki here, but ETC gets out. The fort, on the other hand, has still been destroyed, but there's also a siege giant that does some damage in the middle of the map. So the blue team is actually bringing this back very nicely. They are ahead in experience by nearly a level. Make it half level. And by 1 kill. And they have destroyed 2 of the structures, and they have defended against 1 set of garden terrors. So it's not too bad. It's actually a pretty good spot to be in, if you're honest about it for a moment. And they're getting another channel right here. So yeah, with that, they're now on 2 seats. Their own garden terrors should be a bit more impactful, considering, of course, that they would spawn later. And this is still something that scales into the late game. But so far, they're looking very good with this. 7 kills to 6, getting closer to level 60 now as well. We have another set of siege giants being attacked. So the red team is trying to get back into this and stabilize a little bit. It's getting wild here. 7 stacks for Medivh. So the one thing where they're definitely not going to have any success anytime soon is the completion of Medivh's baseline stacks. That's not going to happen. At least I don't see it happening anytime soon here. He's only at 7. He already died 3 times. Lost way too many stacks to begin with. So there's always a problem. Yeah, they're trying to chain some of these stuns again. Red team is only interested in getting to the next level. They need level 16. They need that talent. And here it is. Rexa, the worst actor in the universe. Which, by the way, is again fully in line with the story that I told earlier. But this feigned death is always just totally useless. Nobody believes this shit. He's just like, oh, I'm dead. Is anybody looking? Nobody? Okay. So, yeah. But yeah, either way, we now have the next seed up. And this is one that the red team has to fight for unless they're willing to go up against the Garden Terrors. So, yeah. Trying to do their thing right here. Could gather, not so much. 7 to 6. A couple of attacks are coming. There's a channel already. And interrupt. Mwah. The owl with a sweet kiss right there. It's one of the things that makes Tirana so unbearably annoying. Exactly that. Oh, Tyrael, careful, my friend. And a little bit on the squishy side with that front line. Another stun from Tyrande, not connecting just yet. They want the kill. Oh, ult used by Imperius. Couldn't quite get it. He gets some stuns together, though, and they're trying to turn it. Oh, the interrupt on the Mosh! And it still hits. Gets insta-interrupted again. Uki was just teed up. It couldn't have been more perfect. The ley line that stopped him from using the Mosh, but then it still went through after. Now we have the channel. That means Garden Terrors are coming onto the map, and this is a bit of a nightmare now for Team BananaH. Guys, we might go the distance on this series. We might actually go to game number 5. It's a bit too early to call, of course, but if you just look at the minimap, they destroyed all forts now with this one falling, and they have the Garden Terrors to open this up even further. So there is a chance that they're getting into a really nice spot now where they could technically try and turn the series around and move on to the next round of the tournament. So BananaH and his boys, they have to step it up a little bit if they want to avoid going to the 5th map. They're going to try and do that, but from here on out it's not going to be too easy. Rexa is defending the bot lane. We have Sonya pushing up at the top, down here of course in the middle. The wall has already been destroyed. There's a quick slide, and that keep is starting to take damage. And this is not the only one. The one at the top lane is also suffering some hit point losses, but they're saving everything for now. Everything's saved. This one is down to 50% HP, so there's that. Can they do more? That's the big question, of course. And with more, I mean, can they bring this back? They need a team fight. They need a victory somewhere. They still need 3 additional seats if they want to have another set of Garden Terrors. What they need is a team fight victory, and so far those team fights haven't really looked too great. It seems like Sven is really doing his best to make up for game number 1 and is dodging out on every single ability that gets thrown his way and then makes the plays. But yeah. Now we have Sonya. Again, they're pushing the bot lane now with 2 camps that they're taking. So they already have 1. They also have that level lead still. So an early level 20 is something that is more or less guaranteed. Unless they're getting killed soon TM. And that's not happening since they're already clawing their way to it with only half a level missing. So still active on the map. Vision granted everywhere. We get down to the bottom of the map. Already another push coming through. As they are now hoping to take this wall out. Haas is the only one dealing with it. And at the top, Madara is stopping the camp that was set en route. So no pressure on the fort either. Which also means that he's going to net them a bit more experience for the Storm Talons. So yeah, looking very strong now. Basically, I mean, you have to give this one up. Currently, they're going to be willing to give a lot up just to close the experience gap. Since there's not a lot going on for the blue team either, there's no problem in giving up a seed or 2. I'm more worried about the keep in the middle, which is already at 50% HP, because this is where you could start making a play now, particularly, of course, with Hyperion. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Raiders' role has been taken. Yep, Hyperion is moving in. They're going to get that keep for sure. So, yeah, keep is in. Oh, and they might get ETC. Stun, stun, stun. Slides out. Tries to at least. Gets ley lined. But don't forget, he also has still a mosh pit. If he gets one good mosh pit off, I really think they need to just put these 2 under pressure. Medivh and Tyrande. These are the ones that are the most vulnerable. Once that Medivh's shield is out, you can do a lot with Judgment. But of course, for now, it's all about getting to level 20. They can give them an additional seed. And then it's just a matter of taking a fight on 20. They're just waiting for their chance. For level 20, and then they gotta find a fight that they can actually claim. Because if not, then they're gonna die a slow and painful death. Sven just still slamming it out down here. Damage numbers 40,000 for Jimmy, 39,000 for Greymane. And also 40,000 for Imperius. He was always a high damage frontliner and is so again. Been played in the main tank position for a long, long time and is doing very well here too. So once again, they're starting to do their thing. With level 20 now finally available also for the red team. Off we go. Hunter's Blunderbuss, Bolt of the Storm. And the big question is, of course, more so what are we going to get from Tyrael here. Also, Rek'Sai is holding his ult back. I mean, normally when you're talking Rek'Sai, you really just get an upgrade at level 10. And yep, there it is. We're going for the kill command. And the only one that is still trying to play it a little bit coy is Tyrael. And now he also goes for the Seal of Andruin. A little bit more damage and pressure. Brightwing gets caught. Leyline is in. And Brightwing is dead. But the counter kill. Jimmy is gone. And so is Medivh. This might be the fight. This might be the one that they take. Greymane is able to escape. That one was big. Sonya is still following Hazu. But they got a good trade out of this. A 1 versus 2 trade in favor of Team BananaH. So this is the top opportunity right here. This is the chance that they have. I mean, first of all, they got to defend all of these lanes that are being pressured. They're not even getting the chance to take the seed. That actually sucks. Brightwing is gone, and even in a 4 versus 3 situation, they cannot take the seed, and they just have to defend all of the lanes. Now, they're getting a bit more map control back, I'd say, but yeah, this is still very annoying. They're trying to steal the camp on the left side, of course, they should. This is one of the few things where they can make a move now, and Brightwing can, of course, also TP in whenever needed, if it comes to a fight. There's owl after owl flying cross screen, not delivering any presence. This is not Harry Potter, but just scouting and dishing out some damage there. Yeah, and talking about some damage, Opaka is already trying to do this here in the middle. They're trying to go for him. They're actually trying to make a play here. There's the slide. Shield is out for Medivh, so now they can also use Judgment if they want to. But they might have gone a little bit too deep here. Lopaka is out. So, delivery system against Misha. So Misha has been destroyed. Seems like Tyrael is making out, but we already have Catapults and Siege Giants on the core. And there's another problem coming through the top lane. Catapult as usual griefing. Only the worst drivers get employed. in the Storm. It's always the same. Like, you go for driver's exam, driver's license, and basically the first thing that they ask you, can you drive around an obstacle? And like, no. It's like, okay, you're hired. So yeah, another set of Garden Terrors. It's a freebie, and it looks more and more likely that we are going to game number 5. Yeah, more and more likely for sure. They want the kill. They go for Uki, and Uki made a dookie. So he's down, ETC is dead, and guys, that should be game. I mean, at this point, this should be the end of it. Because now the core, already 99%, is losing its shields again. Yes, there is Garden Terrors coming in from every single angle, and that is lights out. Team Madara wins on Garden of Terror and forces the 5th and final map in this series. GG. Sky Temple, final map everybody. So we're really here. We are going the distance on this one. We got Team Madara winning it on Garden of Terror, and now it is Sky Temple, the final map. So kind of excited for this one. Not only because we have 40 heroes that can now be not played again, but also because I honestly did not expect us to be here. Games were good, a lot of back and forth. A lot of cool fights, some crazy stuff happening too. And now it's Sky Temple that will decide which one of these teams drops out of the tournament and which team is going to move on to the next round of the losers bracket. So here we are. We get Mal'Ganis banned. Obviously the hero pool, in particular the tank pool, is starting to shrink a little bit. If you think about how many of those frontliners got also played on the last map, it's even more so the case. So right now I guess Stitches is still up, to just name one example, but he might get the axe as well. The banning Simoro, not taking any risks on that. And what is the final pick here? Sorry, the final ban in the first round. I think Tracer is still up. Tracer hasn't been played yet, right? So she's still technically available. Yeah, so that could actually be a thing. Alright, let's see. We get the ban on Tracer. I guess for good reason. She would have been quite strong for a 5th map, so yeah, they gotta play around this. It would have been pretty funny to see that. There's of course a lot of mages still up. I think Gul'dan hasn't been played yet. He has been banned once earlier. Kalthas is still up, so you could go for him. Mephisto has also not been played. So on the mage front, we have a lot. And there is Sergeant Hammer that was banned multiple times. And now they're locking this in immediately. So yes, taken super quickly on this one. Big question, of course, with that now is how do you react to Sergeant Hammer? And also, how do you protect her? It's going to get a bit trickier. I would not be surprised to see Stitches taken very early here. There's not a lot of tanks left. There's still some. But if you're going up against Sergeant Hammer, that might be a very good choice for them. They don't go for it. They go for Li Ming first. Alright. So we got Whitemane and we got Li Ming, leaving Stitches up. Arthur's is still up, of course. Arthur's always a bit of a mixed bag when you're talking about main tanks. But again, the pool is getting thinned out a little bit. Also, since they played ETC earlier in an offlaner role, so that took another frontliner, potential frontliner, away from them. But we have Varian up and we have Chen. So there are a lot of tools now that can protect Sergeant Hammer. You can just keck it up the entire time and start to do that. We have Varian also for a quick stun and taunt. So protect the hammer is definitely the name of the game here. And this is already a great start for them. What exactly is Madara's team now going to do? Because so far I really like what the red team has. I really, really like that opening into the draft for them. Karrigan gets banned. If anything, I could have seen Karrigan maybe even played by them. Again, plenty of heroes still around, even in game number 5. If you only... if you don't pre-ban anything, it's not going to get full mad. That's what Meta Madness is for. But, yeah, what are they going to do now? They gotta do something here. And again, guys, if you want to support tournaments like Meta Madness, if you want to see more content, keep in mind you can support the channel on patreon.com/Khaldor. So big shout out to everybody that already does that, to all the patrons over there. We're now 5 years after Blizzard axed HGC, and continuously we have thrown out one tournament after another. tournament series, offline events that we had, and again, without support that wouldn't have been possible. So a big shout out to everybody that already supports the channel, and if you want to see more even in year 5 and 6, then keep that in mind. You can support the channel on patreon.com/Khaldor, so check it out. Illidan and Arthas. Okay, so now they got Arthas here together with Illidan. I'm still not so sure if it might not have been a better way to go for Stitches. A good hook against Sergeant Hammer, even with siege tactics on level 4, if you can bait out a couple of abilities, might have been good for them. And again, it is of course Sky Temple, you get a bit more value on other maps, but Illidan, Arthas also nice when you're trying to fight for the boss. Now we have Malthael and we have Rhaegar. Yeah, it's getting a little bit wild out here. We have Varian, Chen and Malthael at the front, so really nice heroes that can also capitalize on Sergeant Hammer's continuous damage that comes in. And, well, final pick, Madara. Mage is still an option if they want to go double mage here, which in this situation now you definitely can. I highlighted some of the ones that are still available earlier, or they could go for triple melee frontline too if they want to meet fire with fire. But the final pick, it is Mephisto. Stage is set. Final game of the series, everybody. We're going to Sky Temple. Game number 5, Madara on Mephisto, Ixion Whitemane, Sven with Illidan, Dobby on Liming, and Play on Arthas. On the right side, it is Team BananaH with Hazorps on Chen. We got BananaH himself playing the hammer, Baeksu on Rhaegar, Uki on Varian, and of course we got Lopaka on Malthael, last but not least. Alrighty, who's gonna take it? Been here for a long time, been a long day for these boys and girls already. Actually, it's only boys. But let's see what they can do. Whitemane, traditionally just like flying. Little sexy hexy over here on a broom into battle, and down at the bottom of the map a bit of Li Ming damage. I don't really think that she's going to be seriously threatened. It's just like one combo after another. Wants to come in again, has of course vision too. Varian is already here to block it, and nobody decides like, yeah, I'm not going to risk anything. So everybody is just playing this very, very slow right now. Not trying to risk anything here, and just, yeah, playing for the late game. And again, by the way, this is the second time that we get Illidan against Fat Illidan. We had it yesterday already, so, yeah. They are going toe-to-toe once more. Last time it was Illidan that won the battle. So now Fat Illidan, he's been beefing up a little bit. I heard that he's been going to the gym, has been eating a lot more, trying to get a little bit more weight on, you know, and have more of an impact, figuratively and literally, when he goes for the man with the blindfold. So, still very weird to me, by the way, that one of the soft counters to Illidan is blinds. I mean, in this case, they are not really involved here, but how the fuck do you blind a blind man? Like, come on, boys. Blizzard, you didn't really think this through. Like, not even a little bit. I mean, yeah, not sure what to tell you there. So, we get the cams taken. No real surprise or shockers here. And everybody's playing this incredibly slow. There's no early game aggression. We didn't have that traditional fight for the Watchtower, for example. There were no early 4v4, 5v5 that they set up here. Everybody is just super diligent about bringing this into the mid game towards the first objective, the second objective, and see what they can actually do there. But yeah, it's gonna get a bit nasty. I mean, right now, for example, BananaH is getting a little bit low over here. They're trying to go for Arthas, but immediately everyone is ready, and they are going for Malthael. Malthael, bit low here. Madara, careful, my friend. Gets the damage out slowly, and with Illidan, they get the kill. Nice. Okay, first blood is here. It is the blue team that gets it. Team Madara fighting for survival, as does Team BananaH. And we are off to the races on this one. At the mid lane, Illidan. I mean, Illidan is not going to have any issues with Rhaegar alone. But now we have Taunt at least. So Uki has Taunt available on level 4. They don't have any real burst behind it, so they can start to take targets down a bit by chipping away at the hit point pool and then maybe use Malthael in his last rites to get the job done. In this case, it's also the regenerative biosteel for Sergeant Hammer, which I actually find kind of interesting, considering that we have Howling Blast and that we have potentially the Hunt. So there are a few tools that could be used now during team fights after level 10 to put enormous pressure onto Sergeant Hammer. I'm actually curious to see if they are making any of these choices later on. But there's the next attack, and Lopaka is in trouble. And with trouble, I mean he's likely going to be dead, because the thing is, you're not simply running away from Illidan, okay? If there is still a fort around or some towers, then yes, you might get away. But if there is any kind of space available, you're not simply running away from that madman. So down they go. 3 kills for Team Madara. And BananaH and his boys, they are starting to suffer a bit. And the consequences, of course, of losing 3 heroes is first and foremost that they are losing the control over the 2 shrines. Also, we get Seeker for Li Ming, so no Calamity here. Seeker instead. They reclaimed at least the shots at the bot, and they are reclaiming the shots at the top too. So with them running Li Ming down at the bottom of the map and some extra damage here, I gotta say that a lot of these temple shots are lost to the blue team. So it's an interesting exchange on those lanes that we see between the teams, but structurally I would say Team Madara has taken a bit of a backseat right now. They lost the wall at the top. In the middle, some of the hit points at the top fort have also been destroyed. They themselves were able to do at least some damage, but it's nowhere near what we're seeing from the red team now. So they might get the kills, but they're not really getting themselves into the pole position here just yet. So yeah, we'll see what they can do. I mean, right now, with the Siege Giants pressuring through the bot lane again, we're also getting the touch of a death here. We have, of course, some synergy already unleashed from Rega with the totems. And Rune Tap now as well. So even a bit more self-sustain for our boy. I mean, oftentimes when you're going for that, you're switching out your level 4 talent accordingly, but in this case we haven't gotten it, so Rune Tap regardless of that, instead of the Icebound Fortitude. Illidan is down, but so is Varian. So up at the top they were able to double team him with Lopaka and Hazorps rocking Chen and Malthael. That also means that they might be able to even take that fort down. So the blue team is actually turning, sorry, the red team is turning this around a bit. Kills, very different situation, but they are getting structurally massively ahead, and this is always a problem when you're playing on Sky Temple. If your opponent is ahead in structures, they can just run circles around you, pretty much literally, and just go for the objective and play that out. So that makes this incredibly difficult. 4 kills to 1. Illidan now up against Shen. Oh, Sven, yeah, he takes quite the beating here. Metamorphosis for Illidan. No balls on that boy. Could have gone for the hunt here. Could have pandered to the audience, but nope. Yeah, they're double checking here. I don't... Do they really engage into this? Everybody's already making a move here. There's the taunt. Whitemane stuck around for the longest. So, yeah, they should have kept somebody else there. Whitemane's still alive. This is insane, honestly. There's the last rites. Whitemane is still alive. Ixia doesn't die. Finally, he's gone. Finally. But the red team hasn't won this yet. Now that Sergeant Hammer is here, they might. And they kill Li Ming too, so no resets. That was the one thing that could have won them the fight. How is the red team not dying? Li Ming, imagine Calamity there. That is what you get when you don't pick Calamity. Exactly that. They are losing the entire team. Sven is trying to jump away here, but he dies too. 5-man team wipe. 6 kills to 6, and that's what you get if you don't go Calamity. If they would have had Calamity there, they just could use Li Ming to hop through them and get 1 kill after another and a reset after another. She would have made it 100% there, but no, instead, absolute disaster for the blue team. They are falling a bit apart here. Half a level behind now. Big plays being made by Team BananaH. And yeah, this is now very dicey. Another kill against Li Ming in the middle. Not looking good. Also, Li Ming went for disintegrate. What is this shit? Disintegrate without a Nubarak on the other side? What are we doing? No wave of force? Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. That one is likely going to hurt. And another kill, this time against Arthur's. Arthur's down, they go for Sven. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. They're getting absolutely wrecked here. Kill after kill is coming through, and this is not even accounting for the entire temple that got channeled at the bottom of the map, so they nearly lost their fort because of it. And over here, we also have more experience picked up by Malthael. They're going for the boss, and honestly, why wouldn't they? Arthas and Illidan are both still missing. There's nobody to stop them. The talent advantage too. This is really rough now. Very, very rough. So, this boss taken, I mean, good luck with that. This is not going to be easy. I mean, the way this is going, I expect... I mean, I guess we're going to get Glass Cannon with that. If you're going to go Seeker and disintegrate and everything, is that the plan here? To try and burst the target down quickly? I mean, good luck with that. Malthael at least is gone, so that's something. Li Ming already has trouble surviving, so if she goes Glass Cannon too, then yes, might have the chance to blow somebody up, but at the same time, survivability is a bit low. Syndragosa came in here. Captain Hitsugaya would be proud, but it didn't give them a whole lot. Glass Cannon indeed it is, so they're trying. But I have questions. I doubt that a bit, particularly with Chen and Keck on the other side. So let's see if they can make a move here. So far, Li Ming has been doing a lot of dying and not a lot of killing. That, on the other hand, is finally a kill. Yep, finally Sergeant Hammer is down. Sergeant Hammer has been eliminated. 8 kills to 9. It's actually kind of crazy when you think about it. 8 kills to 9. They're only 1 kill behind. They're 1.5 levels behind. They lost all of their forts, but on kills, they're nearly even. So, yeah. Okay, Double Temple is activating, and here's level 16 for Team BananaH. Again, the blue team, they need to force team fights, and they need to win them decisively. It's the only way they get back into this. It's the only chance they have. As long as the red team is now just trading temples, they're winning the game. This is just what's going to happen. The only chance that Team Madara has is teamfight victories. It's the only option. And right now, they're giving up shots in the middle. They gave up the entire temple at the bottom. The bottom keep is going to get destroyed right now. And that is a disaster. It's obviously very difficult to also fight without level 16 talents. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is a breeze for them. But it's still very difficult. Maybe now they're trying, they're nibbling on the edges a bit, but the Ancestral is out, so they're forcing them away here. Yeah, again, we have Syndragosa being used, but maybe with absolute 0 they can lock them in and force a fight, but for that you have to hit level 20 first. And that in and of itself is already going to be a big ask. So they lost the keep. They only destroyed a single fort. 1 fort destroyed. That's all they have. They're running out of time. They're going to run out of time very, very quickly with all of this. Now, we are looking at level 16 talents at least. That's the moment when you want to start your fights. We get the Blades of Azeroth. Even Unbound is now in. So goes into an all-out tunnel battle there. Mirror Ball is in. Remorseless Winter, Biting Cold. This is the moment where you want to fight. This is why they're attacking at the top right now. They know fully well that they have to force something. So they're trying to do it with a camp that they're pushing in now. But they have to go and ask for that battle. There is no other way. You cannot play the long game here. You are too far behind. Double Temple is coming up again. And the same rule applies. A trade is working for them. Okay, they're forcing it right now. They're trying. Chen already with a keg. Trying to keg it out here. Last rights. Didn't do enough just yet. BFG. And it is Mephisto that falls. Counter kills. None to be had right now. Still trying to get some. But Sven is getting attacked with Illidan. Whitemane is low. Illidan is gonna fall. And Whitemane might also get murdered here. Chen doesn't give a shit about Glass Cannon. Hazu is just jumping in, jumping out. The rest of the team is coming in, and finally there's a kill. So yes, Chen finally dies. So Li Ming gets that kill, but that's all that they got from this, and she's already super low too. So the situation is still very much so the same. It's 12 kills to 9 now. The catapults are already on the core. Thankfully for them, we're only 13 minutes in, but of course there's a double temple coming up. Catapults are not going to break through the shield here. but it is still disastrous. There's 2 Siege Giant camps that are now going to be claimed for the bot lane. And let's not even talk about what's happening with those two temples now firing away, because this means that the top keep is going to take damage and the mid keep is going to take damage. They're running out of structures quickly. Very, very quickly. So, yeah, this is disastrous. They need to do it again. Rinse and repeat, take fights, even when they're shitty fights. It's the only thing you can do. You just don't have the time anymore. Malthael just sitting there waiting for Illidan to drop a little bit low and see if he can make a play there. They gave up the mid-temple. Again, they don't have to do anything on that mid-temple. Even move Sergeant Hammer back because they're not quite sure if there's anybody still around. Top fort has now been destroyed. Sergeant Hammer realizes that everybody's in the middle, so goes straight back up onto the temple to ensure that this top keep falls, which it will 100%. And now it's a question of what happens around the boss. So yes, keep is gone. The one in the middle is still taking damage too, and they're closing on level 20. There's the attack at the bottom. They're trying to fight it. As long as Sergeant Hammer isn't here, they have a numbers advantage. They're chasing them, and the red team is saying like, no, not happening, my friends. We're out of here. Nope. Not gonna give you that fight. Not gonna be a thing. We're taking that fort, but that's all that they can do, and now it's maybe even a fight for boss, which you don't even have to take. So there's the fight, finally, last rites on Illidan. Sven is dead, Illidan is gone, and I would say so are the hopes and dreams of Team Madara. This looks like a quick exit in this tournament for them. Play about to be... Oh, there's a kill. Li Ming gets one. All right, all right. Can we get more? Can we get another one? I don't think so. Arthas is completely split. Chen is just getting them even further away from the fight, isolating Arthas more, and then jumps out. But still gets killed. So they're trading. They're trading frontliners. Trading is not really enough. And here comes Malthael. Malthael is jumping in. There's the taunt, and that is going to be a dead white main. Ixia is dead, and so is Li Ming. 5-man team wipe. And that is it. Team Madara with a very, very unfortunate and disappointing performance in the bracket phase. They had such a good run in the round robin, but as you can see here in the tournament itself, they get shut down by Team BananaH. Very close call, it went the distance, but congratulations, of course, to the red team. They did a stellar job here, particularly on the last map. 18 kills to 11. They log in a 3-2 victory over their opponents and take the win. GG, well played, and congratulations to Team BananaH.